And hello, everybody.
Wow.
Hi.
Happy Saturday.
Hello.
We are Hard Knock Dice. I am Jonesy. I will be your dungeon master for this evening, and these people surrounding me are your heroes and my best friends. Today we are going to be continuing on with our Across Eberron campaign, but before we do, some announcements. Brittany / Koshik's Kickstarter got funded, so sick. We're looking forward to getting those pins. If you have not yet, I don't think they can pledge anymore for them, but be on the lookout in the future for her shop and what have you. Second announcement, we are still raising money for Extra Life, this bar right below me right here. That is at $1,300 out of $3,500. We're trying to reach that $3,500 goal. At $1,500, we're going to be giving away a digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything from D&D Beyond. And then at $2,500, we're going to be giving away a SteelSeries gaming mouse. And then at $3,500, our ultimate goal, we're going to be giving away a SteelSeries gaming keyboard. So follow along with that. Donate, help some kids out. Anybody get anything else?
Nope.
Sick. We're going to hop right into it. Of our recap. So after a night of uneasy rest, the party woke up to a dinner invitation from Quanti de Orion. Addressed to Ilsa and party for that very same night, KJ returned with some information on two fronts after that. One front, unfortunately, led to a dead end at the seaside docks, and that lead was to Brayton Sithov, somehow involved with a worldwide kidnapping ring that the party has been trying to find and squash for some time. The second part of that information was specific to quest for Gorham, Melgrim, and Koshik that they've been the first real breakthrough or potential breakthrough concerning Edril. For those new, Edril is the killer of Melgrim's father. He is the designated target of Gorham's quest for vengeance, and he is Koshik's father, or something adjacent to a father. However, Seeker Orzos from a local chapter of the Blood of Vol had heard from his sister in blood, Seeker. Oh, did I freeze? Oh, what's the last thing you heard?
Yep.
I don't know.
Something adjacent to a father.
Yeah.
Or some. Okay, so I didn't get too far. That's good. Something
my father.
Whoops, I didn't realize I froze. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Make sure you make that womp womp noise every time so I know when I come back. However,
return to the traditional.
Yeah. Hopefully I can we get that fixed. I guess I need to call up Google again. Whoopsie daisies. However, Seeker Orzos from a local chapter of the Blood of Vol had heard from his sister in blood, Seeker Katia in Scairn. That has an R in it, by the way. That extremist Emerald Claw types were recruiting, openly and not in the shadows as per usual. So the party then went to and visited Milo's parents, who he hadn't seen since he absconded from the city. His father, Everett, seemingly the recipient of several benefits from those who were chasing Milo, betrayed his son by use of a sending stone to turn him in. After some tense moments and a clever use of disguise and deception, the party was able to send those who answered that sending stone to the roof of the building long enough for them to escape. We left off with the party plus Milo's parents arriving at Chateau Mimic, where all of you, thank you, Play Nerd Allies, for that follow. Hello. Welcome. We are just getting started and just finished our recap, so perfect timing. We left off with the party plus Milo's parents now in Chateau Mimic, just walking into the room. Bill asleep on Melgrim's bed, snoring loudly, and Eris scribbling away in one of his journals. As you walk in, he looks up at the party, noticing some new guests among you, and stands up. It's on you guys.
Milo's not saying shit.
Okay.
He big broody boy, and is probably gonna walk over to the corner and start fiddling with his tool bench.
All right. Upon seeing the dinosaur that is in the room, Milo, your parents, your father less reactive, your mother more so, just sort of stumbling but backwards. Oh my god, that's a dinosaur.
His name is Bill.
You trained a dinosaur?
He's not trained. He is a normal person.
He is one of
just a dinosaur at the same time.
he's one of our friends, Ma. He's harmless.
Like, working on whatever on the bench, just saying it over his shoulder.
I mean, look at those pants. Dinosaurs don't grow pants like that.
Yeah,
He also has his vest now, right?
he
He has the
does.
vest and the pants. Okay.
Correct.
just making
Oh, we're gonna make it about 10 minutes into the session before I spit drink all over my keyboard.
Right then. Well, it's been a day, so I'm just gonna take a seat. Hi, I'm Audrey. Audrey Goggins. She walks over to Erish, introduces us. Ma'am, pleasure to meet you. Should we get some lunch going or something? Kind of looking at the rest of you for direction.
Yeah, sure, I could always eat.
Right then.
What time is it? It was like we've only been gone from the morning,
We've
like
been
for
gone
breakfast for like an hour or two,
Yeah,
right? So
for,
it's
we're
for
not-
a couple of hours.
It were not a crazy long trip, all
Yeah.
things
Right.
considered.
No, it wasn't at
Alright.
all.
I didn't think so. Okay, I'm just gonna interject with I believe we're on a bit of a, like trying to stick to a fairly tight schedule today. Yeah.
Nah. Absolutely.
Lot to do.
Perhaps we should, working lunch,
So
if
some,
anything.
something I can help with that then.
Can you make like some really like solid sandwiches that won't like fall apart? We could like carry them around like one hand,
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And it's gonna make us
If
hot
they fall,
pockets.
you can still just eat the parts if they fall apart. And come on.
But not the point. Regardless. So, we have retrieved your parents, Milo. And you still wish to meet with Merrick's the Canis. Yes.
If we want to have a chance at helping the victims in those stones, or whatever's going on there, we're gonna have to. He's our best chance.
Okay. So, as far as I'm aware, that this is the only other like thing we have to do. Yes. Aside from figure out how we're going to get our boat away from Quanti's boat, without him, like trying to jump our ship.
Nah. I also wanted to do a little bit of research at the big college place while Milo was busy. If I can find anything there.
There's plenty to find.
Great. And yeah, just while Erish is getting things ready, I would like to speak with him mentally and give him the kind of cliff notes of the things that happened with Milo and his parents. Like, yeah, tried to sell him out, people showed up, it's a pretty tense situation.
Very well. Are they going to be staying here while you leave
Right,
again?
you should probably not keep your eyes off of he's dead.
He just nods as he works on making his bulletproof sandwiches on per Gandalf's request.
Hell yeah, bulletproof.
Jesus.
Like connect him with like a chain, fucking. These are like nunchucks. Sick.
By this point, Audrey is talking to Erish while smelling a lot of the candles that are sitting around, and just talking his ears off about how she thought about opening a candle shop at one point in her life, and Everett's just sort of brooding in a corner, not really saying much.
Making a very intentionally not looking at his father. Just about anything but kind of thing going on. Milo's gonna walk over to Gandalf.
I look down. I don't have to do this. So. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't agree with a lot of things he says. But what if he was right about needing to take care of my problem before we get out of here? Make problems down the road for us, or is it something you think we can step away from?
Shit, I don't know.
You're
I
a
mean-
soldier. It's kind of your thing, fighting and violence,
Killing
right?
things is my thing. Yeah, I was not like tactical officer. They said go kill this thing. I went and killed that thing.
Okay, that's
It was
fair.
kind of for what I did. But
We should
I mean,
talk about it at least, in case it causes problems later. If y'all think we can step away and kind of leave the problem here in Sharn, that's great. For now, at least. But
I mean, if there's a way to quickly like make them fuck off, then great. But I don't know how quick or easy that will be. But they have already sent assassins after you, pretty far away from Sharn once.
well,
So it's not like they're going to stop.
hunting dangerous thugs isn't exactly my wheelhouse, so I guess we should ask the others.
It's worth bringing to the table.
Right.
If we can think of a way to make them leave you the fuck alone, yes, then we should do it. If it's quick. But we do have places to be, and unfortunately, we may have to run the risk of it being a problem for a while longer.
I'd like to be able to make it out without them knowing and it not be a problem, but we'll see. I'm gonna get my things together for this meeting with Merrick's.
Sure.
He'll kind of nod at Gandalf and, still not looking at his father, go and start packing things, tools, blueprints, the works.
Okay. Just so I understand, are you guys packing up completely? Packing up all of your belongings, that sort of thing?
Absolutely.
Milo is packing for what he would need to speak to Merrick's on the subject.
Yeah. Okay.
Like all of the notes, because I know he studied the crystals on one occasion. All of his information about the armor, just all of his notes, probably stacks of papers and blueprints and stuff.
Okay.
I do think it is best that we all pack our things because we're trying to leave quickly, right? To visit Merrick's, get out of here, be ready to go.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, look over at Gandalf.
Yeah, what? Oh. Anybody have any particularly good ideas for how we could at least temporarily get the tar cannons off of Milo's tail?
We find
That
out
would be
where they're
quick.
held up and we burn it down.
I don't think that really like solves the problem.
I
mean,
have an idea.
I think they're a little bigger than like one building.
I have an idea, but it comes with a lot of risk, and I don't know if it's something that everyone would be okay with. Milo specifically. You ever thought about faking your own death, Milo? But
Can't say it's crossed my mind.
to a degree of, I can bring you back. We let them kill him and I bring him back. They won't know we've brought him back. In their eyes, he's dead.
I don't know about that one.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
I know it comes with risks. I've said it's totally fine. It's just a suggestion.
I think I mean like faking his death, like that may be a bit extreme version, but faking his death's not a bad idea. But I think the only problem is they don't just want to kill him; they want his armor. And if they take the armor, then he's kind of fucked. And if they don't take the armor, if we like, oh, he's dead, but we just take his body away, then they'll chase the rest of us just so they can try to get his armor.
Do you think you
Milo.
could build another suit of armor, Milo?
Not easily.
What did they give you to make this armor?
Like money-wise or material-wise?
Both.
Material-wise, just a couple of necessary rare components. The rest of it was either purchased or acquired through my workshop.
Why don't we just go pay them off? I mean, it's
Pay
not
them
really
off.
my style, but they're business people, right? Just go give them a bunch of money and say, don't you ever come mess with my friend again, or we'll come and get this money back.
I don't know if that would work. I mean, maybe, but
Wouldn't they still
it's
want
not
the
just the. Yeah, they kind of wanted it, and then also there's like their pride and stuff on the line. Dangerous
Okay.
people, in my experience, don't like being defied without really violent consequences. Not that I'm opposed to your solution, if it works.
Corelli, you can make your face and stuff like actually look like different people. Can you do that on a dead body?
Yes.
There we go. We've killed Milo. Sorry, he didn't have his armor on. He was going to get a sandwich. Please give us money.
Are you saying to alter a dead body? Is that what you're implying?
Correct. Yes, alter a dead body.
That might be more of a problem.
Shit. Well, but it almost worked, I guess.
I mean, it might be possible. There are magics you can perform on a dead body that would be a little bit more difficult to bear on a living person, if you understand my meaning.
Where will we be getting a dead body?
Well, it's a shard.
Just have to. we
Hey
can tell
Edgar, you got
somebody
any
where
dead
to find-
bodies?
We can tell someone where to find Milo, and we could probably get a few cars full.
Responding to Gandalf's question, a face just sort of materializes out of the ceiling and says, "No, I
Yeah, cool.
eviscerate them."
That's fair. It was worth asking. Okay, Edgar has no dead bodies.
Very well.
Anywho. There's like, does anybody, like, Corelli, do you know anything about negotiating with these people?
I've personally never had to negotiate with them. I could ask, see if anything turns up before our extraction time, but
Right.
usually they're scum, very bottom of the barrel, and they're very touchy about reputation, in my opinion.
Right. So, like, how hard would we have to bloody their nose until they were like, it's not worth it?
Well, you also understand they bloody each other's noses quite a bit, but
I'm talking about specifically the Tarkanans, not like also the Bordermark
Okay.
guys.
Tarkanans, I would say you'd have to find, perhaps if you targeted some of their lieutenants throughout the city and took them all out, or offered enough money. Those are, it's kind of a big show to like blow up one place in particular, set it on fire, because they're like roaches. They spread everywhere. To use a Carnathi phrase, they're everywhere. They're under the dirt. You need to at least target some people that are high up enough that they start to feel the pain.
Where are we just gonna find a dangerous gang lieutenant? That's not exactly
Actually,
a grocer.
well, about that.
He is
Once
actually.
again.
He's over there bagging groceries at the Kmart.
Bagging groceries. Once again, people leave trails about, and I'm sure if given enough time we could find. In the meantime, I would suggest we make a public display of leaving and going a certain direction, and we go where we're actually intending, as opposed to that location.
Right.
That is one possibility.
What Artyom said though might hold some water. We let it be known to someone where I'm going to be, and then jumping whoever shows up could be bloodying their nose.
Oh, I thought you were going to say about the paying them off, but yeah, you want to fight.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised, Milo. Let's do it.
The ones,
You've grown so much. I might
I'm
cry.
so proud of you right now.
the ones showing up might
I'm
not
just
be the
thinking of
highest.
ideas.
Yeah, I'm just saying they might not be the highest of the food chain.
I don't.
Um,
I don't know how hard it would be to make them realize that it's not worth it.
Speaking of which, I did see the one that was leading the pack, as it were, and trying to find you and telling your father that he was, the plans he had for you. It was a, I hate to say this, but they threw in chat the picture of, what is it, Michelson, that guy, that actor, and now all I see is him, the James Bond villain.
Ah, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. I'm like, but
That
anyway,
is sick.
I think I could pull up, I can just make a little small minor illusion of his face, I believe, no problem. Because I do remember, because I just recently saw him. Would that be possible, DM?
I'm sorry, ask that question for me one more time.
Can I make a small minor illusion of Mad Nicholson to show the party what he looks like?
You can, as Crowley summons up a minor illusion. You see a male human in a dark sort of charcoal gray suit, bald head, smooth shaven face, and a pretty nasty scar that rides up from his cheek across his right eye, and just a milky white right eye.
Damn, I missed the milky white eye the first time. This really is a Bond villain.
Did I see this person whenever I was watching through Barrack?
I think you flashed in when Gandalf and Crowley were speaking after the fact.
Yeah.
But I will give you make a perception check for Barrack.
I don't know what his bonuses are, but that's natural 20.
Oh, well, hell yeah. So yeah, I'll say that right before Gandalf sort of tossed him to the side, Barrack got a brief glance in.
Nice. I might be able to kind of find where this guy is if I get some materials in town first. So that could be an option.
I mean, we have that sending stone, right?
Oh yes, that's very true.
We could just be like, hey,
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, because
hello. If he's the one responding to that, we just go, hey, we're here, dickhead. And wherever we are, and he'll show up and we just fucking kill him.
It'll probably be more effective if Gandalf's father says, hey, he's at the,
I hate to break it to you.
I'm sorry, Milo's father. My apologies. That would be very interesting.
Yes, that would be.
Hey, you don't know my dad's dead. Shut up.
I don't.
No what I hear.
But I do,
Yeah.
and that was rough.
By who?
If we have Milo to get his dad or Crowley to imitate Milo's father, to send a message saying, hey, he's over here at that, what was the name of that bar we went to? He'd say, hey, he's just leaving there. Or he just went inside to grab some things and he's about to come out. You could jump him over there. And then we kill those guys and we find out more information. If we don't kill all of them, and then we say, hey, KJ, how much do you think it's worth to have 2 unmarked cars on the black market or whatever in Sharn? So there is that. Because they seems like very nice cars. I mean, or carriages or whatever.
Well,
Sky coaches.
We
Why does
can-
everything have so many names?
we can plan a strategy for this. For now, should we go ahead and make our way to the college? You can do your research and I can meet with Merrick's.
Well, you want to do this after? Or, I mean, yeah, after the
This should
college
be
stuff?
we should do this last thing and then
Okay,
fucking
We'll,
that's fair.
we'll probably
Because
be
there will
running
be-
from that.
there will be there are guards in this city, right? There will be guards because there will be a commotion. Those dark lamps may show up. This should be we kill these guys and then fucking book it.
Just to be clear, DM, these carriages only work in Sharn because of it being a manifestation zone to the plane of air, right?
Roll an Arcana check for me.
No, I mean,
Hey,
that's
what?
out of character.
What's his
Question.
plane of air?
I mean, in character, that is not great. That's 11.
Okay. RTM's not too sure. It's just magic flying air carriages as far as RTM knows.
Sick.
Corelli, is there a way to park some of their cars onto our carriage? Onto our airship, we could just take them with us. And
Oh, of course you can do that. Well, there's plenty of room, especially in the cargo hold.
I hear that's a dangerous place.
it's
This is an
Maybe-
in-party joke.
maybe we could kind of block them off with Kaushik's horse so we don't quite hear it as easily, kind of a sound barrier. In any case, yes, I think that would make things a lot more interesting for having to constantly fly up and down, He has a bird and carry everyone. Or is it Quetzalcoatl? What the two? Could be useful.
Could be. I'd agree.
Does Milo know the mechanics of that? Like the fact that they're bound to the city in some way?
We try to fly it out.
I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like being fueled by
Roll an
magic of the city itself.
roll
or
an
something.
Arcana check for me.
May I also roll an
So-
Arcana check?
Sure.
I didn't have dice.
That's
out,
gonna
so-
be one. If everybody fails, that's gonna be one hell of a hilarious dexterity check to all grab on the arc jump while falling to your death.
Oh, Jesus
I can
Christ.
prevent 40 damage. I can make it right. That's sort of splat.
11 plus. Where'd my character sheet go?
I thought it was another 11. I was like, this is perfect.
11 plus 6, so 17 total.
With a 17 and having lived here all of your life, I'll say that Milo, while the relationship with Sharn and the plane of air is not necessarily like common knowledge around here. Milo knows that these things aren't going to perform at least as well as they do here. They may still perform because they are inherently magical in some way. A lot of them do have their own bound elementals, but they're not going to be flying up stories and stories and stories like they do here.
It wouldn't quite. There's a binding to the city. You're not going to get the same kind of flight capabilities of it the further you get from Sharn. I mean, you're not going to fall to your death, but you're also not going to be getting back up to the ship without some kind of major power source and modifications.
Which you can do, right?
You paying for it?
You just need rare materials and you can do anything, Milo.
Well, I mean, you could probably just take some of the parts from the first car and put them on the second car to make them better, right?
Milo's just envisioning the kind of gigantic air elemental that would need to be bound to make it work outside of Sharn.
Just twin engine V8.
I mean, it might be worth trying if you wanted to. Like I said, we're not going to fall to our deaths.
I'm just proposing another experiment, and obviously this is research worth your time, no doubt, because there are endless possibilities and applications, Milo.
He likes the idea.
Yeah, I'm barding it up for you.
Just
Softball.
imagining us having to take these really nice, like, town car sky carriages and just, like, strip them down of everything inside of them and make them lighter so that they work better, and just essentially turning them into the most janky sky wagons.
It's like,
Either
all right, guys.
Wagons or muscle car. Either one works for me.
Crash test 1. Shove it out shove it out of the airship. That ain't
Fury
flying.
Road, you mean Fury Skies?
All right. So what's the
Okay.
plan, guys?
I guess we're going to the college.
Okay.
College.
All packed and ready to look for
Oh,
ring.
we're getting a call from the college already. It seems.
Milo is packed and ready to head to the college. Got his little sheaf of papers and blueprints, and he's all dressed academically to look professional to meet with the prestigious Merrick's Decanon.
Okay.
The love of his life.
As a bard in my subclasses being colleges, I'm obviously a college graduate, so I'm within academic standing, I'm sure.
He went to Spirit College.
Yeah, man, Spirit College.
Uh,
4.0, by the way.
Milo is not wearing his armor, is what I'm hearing.
No, it's going to be in his backpack again.
And he's
Okay.
still disguised up as his previous.
They did that
as the
this
previous
just a
person,
few
the
hours
party
ago.
persona.
The Chris Angel Artificer?
Yep, the Chris Angel Artificer. Yeah, man, he's got like the sharp cheekbones.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I make up him good.
Your makeup has been kind of scuffed up from Milo's mother absent-mindedly doing the very motherly lick the thumb, like swipe the cheek sort of thing, trying to get it off of Milo. But after seeing how much makeup it was, and she kind of let it be. But not a problem. So to Moorgrave then.
Yes.
But before we leave, I'd like to ask Milo. Milo,
Yes.
what? So if this like library and stuff, they have the ability to learn like new spells and get the information on some magic and stuff, right? Like it's not just normal
do
books, right?
experimental stuff all the time. This is a developmental college.
Okay. So like you could go there to learn how to do new spells and stuff, or get information on new spells.
I mean, theoretically, what are you trying? There's a whole range of things. What specifically are you trying to figure out?
Well, you know how I can talk into people's brains, right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, but Kalash.
Kalashtar. Yeah, that thing.
But I was trying to figure out if there's a way where I could talk in multiple people's brains all at once, and then I could help you talk into Kiandawan's brain and Kaushik's brain.
Ooh, that would definitely be something to ask a specialist, which I am not. Different area of research.
Okay. Well, as long as you know one, you can point me in the right direction.
Just gotta find the right department. There will be a department head, and someone will direct you to the right person.
Like they're in boxes?
He just kind of shakes his head. He's like, I'll explain on the way.
Okay.
Is everyone going to Moorgrave then?
Yeah.
Okay, with the exception of Bill, Arish, and Milo's parents, correct?
All PCs.
And I'll leave
Okay.
Derek behind to hang out. Shit, I still haven't turned him into a freaking. He'll just be hanging out in Bill's nest.
Just in case he dies in a fiery inferno, and you'll know.
Yeah,
Like, you're like, oh,
just
okay.
for
Or very
the
sad.
sake of, I'll let Bill know mentally. Bill, if anything happens, if like people come here and they start causing a big ruckus, I know it's going to be kind of weird, but just sort of reach down and just bite Merrick really hard on the neck. Just, you got to kill him. He'll just disappear. He'll be fine. He's not hurt by it or anything, but you have to let me know that things are in danger.
Bill's still
Sorry,
sleeping.
little one.
Bill's still sleeping on Melgrim's bed. Wakes up and about half of your message.
Oh, shit.
And start, yeah, what? And just Audrey's just sort of like mouth agape, looking over Bill. What? Yeah, no problem. We are easy. Oh, they are easy. All right, yeah, you'll bite them.
Right. I'll just say openly at this point because I know Bill's gonna like spill the beans anyway. Right. So this guy over here might try to sell us out again. Keep your eye on him. If some trouble happens, just kill Barrick, and then I'll know that trouble's happening. It's fine. You know the routine. Yeah, but he's a rat now, of course.
Bill just looks over at Everett and says, "I am faster than you, I promise. Don't run."
He'll bite your balls off. I've seen them do it.
This is true. He'd swallowed them too. You could never put them back on again.
Milo
mate.
looks mildly disturbed while he's like getting ready to go.
So
Deadpan.
How do the parents respond to that?
Audrey is focused on a talking dinosaur at the moment. And Everett has not said anything. At the Bill's minor threat just kind of looks over at Bill and kind of dejectedly slumps even further into sort of the sofa he's sitting on.
Fingers crossed, too overwhelmed to even process this other weird shit.
Seems like it at the moment. There's a lot going on in here.
Be in his best interest to understand the depth of the danger he is in if he tries to run away.
When you do mention Bill biting Barrick really hard, Barrick sort of squeaks and just pointedly looks at you in his rap form.
No, it's okay. I'll bring you right back. It's just a way that I mean, do you have any other way of instantaneously letting me know information that's currently happening from vast distances away?
Sinks his head down.
Oh,
I will
That's
make
so
it up to
fucked
you,
up.
but hopefully it will not happen.
Okay. Just a lot of you load up into KJ's sky carriage, the old rusty bullet, and take off to a familiar university. Several of you, Milo, immediately recognizing where Merrick's told you that he would be told you where his office was, which is in the Artificers College, sort of this newer addition, bronze floating orb off the side of Morgrave University. And so KJ pulls up. You guys are able to, whoever is going to the Artificers College with Milo and Artyom, are you just going to be heading off looking for some sort of directory or what?
I have no idea unless someone tells me, so I'll probably just get off with Milo.
Yeah, I would have explained to him like
Okay.
how to go to like the front desk and get directed to the appropriate department or college or whatever.
Sure. All right then.
Like whatever visitor center or something.
All right. And just so we can keep track of party and who's with who's going to be going with Milo, who's going to be going with Artyom, if anyone.
Go with Milo.
Gorham will go with Milo.
Milo.
I will also be going with Milo.
Milo.
I'll probably go with Artyom.
Okay.
I was about to say, fucking rough day, Artyom. Holy shit.
What are you kidding me? This ought to be great. I'm gonna be a fucking even more wanted person probably by the end of this if I'm going there by myself.
Of course, the barbarian's the only one that goes with you. Cool. Good to know.
What about Crowley? Where's Crowley going?
I'll go with Artyom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raining on my parade.
Well, I'm
I'm
looking
kidding,
for
I'm kidding.
for this college of maladies and terrible things, weird applications of magic. So, if I find that, I'll split the party even more.
Okay.
Jones, I just want to comment, like, kind of as we're walking along, I just want to be kind of spinning that pin I stole from that jerk off here, and just kind of just hitting my fingers. Like I'm just kind of like la 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 la.
Yeah.
Nervous but subtle
Oh.
approval from Milo.
Speaking of, if we pass by his office, I'm just saying, if the door's open, his paperwork on his desk isn't going to be on his desk anymore.
God.
Ah, such a fuck that
The
guy.
petty is for real.
You guys do pass the office of Professor Jarrett Wellham. However, his office is closed, and locked.
Oh, he was a professor. Oops.
Is there a little window like on school doors that I can see through to his desk?
It is, but it's that like rippled glass that you can't quite see through. You can see the object, like the shapes of objects on the other side.
Is that
but
good enough?
nothing.
I
do-
see
to do
Kasha kind
maintain.
of like eyeing it, and I'm like.
Give me 1 second. Let me read how
No,
much I
let's-
need to see.
Gosh,
He just gonna, like,
I'm just
Kasha
gonna
by
like,
the
I am
arm.
here for this. You want me to unlock the door?
I don't think I need to unlock the door, right? I can just kind of look through
I'm
the little window at the little shapes and just kind of knock all its stuff off with my little. Which one was it? Did I use?
You can't really see or target anything
Is it
specific on the other side. However, with a cast of Mage Hand on the other side of this window and just sort of placing it on the vaguely desk-shaped form and dragging it across, you just hear the crashing of papers, books, and other things just right off the desk.
I want to be kind of like pressing my face up against the window as well. Does it look like there's anything else shiny on his desk that wasn't there last time?
Fucking chaos twins, Jesus.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Ah!
While he's rolling, I just want to say after I do that, I'm going to look at Milo and just go, oops.
That's still an 18.
With a roll of his eyes, Milo will continue towards Merrick's office.
Very well.
Nothing shiny.
With an 18, you think you got in your last sort of escapade through here, you think you got the most valuable thing off the desk.
Yeah, shit. Oh well. Oh well.
And as you see Milo starting just to walk off on his own, the rest of you catch up with him. Making your way to Merrick's Decanus office, sort of off by itself on the side of the building, rather large sort of bronze gilded door with his name across the front of it, or just Kenneth across the front. It is currently sort of partially open, and you just hear like a humming from inside.
Kind of like knocking on the door. He said partially open, so
Mhm.
kind of doing that thing, like looking into the crack and knocking on it.
Mr. Kenneth?
I don't know what titles would be, Master Kenneth.
Sure.
however that's proper here.
Master Kenneth, are you here, sir?
As you peek in, sort of directly in the center of the room, you see a multitude of large white and bronze discs that are moving and circulating through each other in a very like what's the word for it? Like, you've seen those solar system type dioramas where they're like folding in on each other and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
They're
about.
it's about 15 feet wide in diameter. So it's rather large, with just this sort of green energy floating through the room, as a familiar, very fluffy, red-haired, sort of just chin beard and small glasses, Merrick's the Kenneth, in sort of disheveled work clothes. He may or may not have slept. I says, yes?
You
Can I
told me
help
to
you?
come. You told me to come see you, sir. If now's a bad time.
Did I? When?
At the gala, we spoke. We discussed some theories.
And I'll mention some aspect of the theory that we went over.
Oh, okay. Come on in. Just sort of back into
My
it.
apologies, sir.
Gonna kind of like nervously shuffle in.
You said you were interested in hearing some more about some of my projects. And,
As you're walking into the room, and Merrick sort of like fully reveals himself from the backside of this, whatever this contraption in the middle of the room is, there's just this fairly bright shine of green that is just coming off of Merrick's top of Merrick's head, and sort of like drifting into the center of this device. And as you walk in, Milo, not as dense as what is on what you see sort of surrounding the green particles that you see surrounding Merrick's head. The same thing happens to you as this sort of just starts drifting off of your head. Kaushik, very much the same. And Gandalf, as you enter the room, the dimmest
Like,
green light of all starts coming off.
What the fuck is this?
I
like
was planning to
immediately
kinda-
jerk back out of the room.
yeah, I was planning to kind of halt them outside of the door.
No worries. It is just harnessing residual psychic energies. It's harmless. Come right in.
And if that's the case, then beckon them in.
You see that he's standing there with this just stream of green energy going off into the middle of this thing.
I just squint.
I don't know if I want my residual psychic energies harnessed.
It's harmless, I assure you. You're
Insight check.
yeah, go for it. Roll an insight check.
Sweet. I don't trust this man.
At any point during the day,
Fuck.
these residual psychic energies are being let off anyways. They're just not so concentrated and moving in any sort of direction, just sort of emanating out.
That was a 9.
Seems to be telling the truth.
9.
Gorham, as you step in, sort of the same sort of scenario.
Milo's not gonna roll because he trusts this man.
I don't fucking trust him.
Very well.
I slowly step into the room like,
So in addition to showing you some of my project notes that you had requested to see, I thought maybe you could go over some questions that we've been having with some stuff as well, if you'd be willing with your time, sir.
I am here. I am listening.
Oh, okay, so first, you were wanting to know...
And he's gonna like branch off into whatever specific questions they'd had since we kind of hand waved that portion during the gala, and start kind of positioning notes into presentation order and answering any questions that Merrick's may have had. Kind of using the opportunity to like get some input as he went. Like,
I chose to do it, this way by binding in this particular, method. Is that how you would have done it?
kind of thing.
Right. I'm not exactly sure where our conversation was going. Terrible memory and all that. But I don't know if elemental binding is going to be the same. What I do believe I was asking you is in regards to this, and he sort of slaps the side of it. Regarding this project anyways, as far as harnessing, I seem to be able to focus, but store is the problem I'm running into. Storing residual psychic energies. Imagine a city like Sean, constant psychic energies flowing. Imagine being able to harness that, the psionics that you could create. It's mind-blowing.
Sure, Milo buys into that very enthusiastically.
While they're chatting, I just want to be kind of wandering around the room, just looking at everything, like just seeing what all is in there.
Sure, yeah. Roll an Arcana check for me. There is shit.
I'm not trying to identify anything. I'm just trying to see what is there.
That is one and the same.
Okay.
There is a lot of shit in here.
That's actually pretty good. That's a 16.
Okay. With Gandolin's vast knowledge of Arcana, there are seemingly a lot of magical items in here, or at least things that would what's the word? Things that would if assembled correctly would be able to like focus Arcana or like store arcane energy.
So arcane focuses in storage.
Something, yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, so there's a bunch of parts.
And
It's not like an office or anything. This is like a workroom.
Yeah, this is like a laboratory.
Okay.
There is a desk in here that is covered in more mechanical pieces and like arcane crystals and whatnot, and like a half-eaten lunch.
Okay. I'm just kind of circling the room, just looking at stuff.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me, Ganwin.
25.
With a 25, sort of, in a 16 Arcana check, there's one portion of the room that looks more mechanical in nature, as far as it doesn't look necessarily related. A lot of the things in this room are very much in the realm of arcane focus and arcane storage. That is directly, you could assume, pertaining to this project he's working on. One is sort of an older, neglected part of the room is a bunch of different like gears and working parts of armor, it looks like.
Okay, now let me know if you want me to roll a different check for this.
Okay.
Do I happen to notice anything like that seems similar to the teleportation crystals that we saw in the circus tent?
Oh, I'm not going to make you re-roll for that. With those checks, you don't see anything really similar. There are other crystals and whatnot, but there doesn't seem to be anything directly related to teleportation that you can see in here.
Okay. Cool beans.
After a thoughtful moment of listening to what he said about storing the latent psychic energy,
Mm-hmm.
He kind of puts away the armor and blueprints notes that he'd been showing Merrick's, and instead, what's up?
When you show him, you're showing him armor blueprints.
That was what I started off with, yeah, because that's what we'd been discussing at the gala.
Okay. Sort of take them as you're showing them to him. It's a curious glance across his face. Ah, yes, I do remember. Flipping through them. I very much made a similar set of armor myself not too long ago.
Oh, a set by you.
Yes.
Do you have it? I would love to see it. I'm sure it's
Oh no,
exceptional.
it was commissioned.
Oh. By who, I wonder?
An anonymous patron.
Nervous glance over his shoulder at his buddies.
Well, I would, if you ever had time, be fascinating to see if there were any improvements.
These blueprints. I was given some things as he walks over to his desk. I was given some things to base this off of. It wasn't really until I saw the figures that they were looking to pay me. wasn't really interested in it, as I am currently very interested in my own projects. However,
Understandable,
yes.
sir.
I knew they looked familiar. And he turns around some papers to you. Milo, these are blueprints in your handwriting. These are blueprints that seem to have been left behind.
Oh, shit.
But that's where... Excuse me? But yes, they provided me with this, and it's sort of what I based my my build around. It's very rough around the edges in a work in process, but the right idea.
Yes, you gotta see how confident Milo's feeling right now. Jesus. Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
He's visibly distraught at this point. Sir?
Yes.
These are my blueprints.
I recognize the handwriting, and so I'm showing you.
Oh, shit. Gandalf,
Something wrong?
Yes.
maybe? They've got another suit of armor.
Like hand half out to like pick up something that he probably shouldn't touch. What? What?
If you drop that crystal you're holding, you may not have a good time.
Slowly set it down, like
hands shaking just a little bit.
The Tarkanans have another suit of armor. I don't know if that's bad for us. I don't know. Maybe they won't need mine. Or maybe they'll decide they don't want mine floating around. The patron was anonymous to you, sir?
Yes. Well, I suppose not anymore. If you know who they are.
On task.
We'll
circle back to
go take a look outside. You finished up this conversation. I'm just gonna fast walk outside.
Sir, well, I really, really want to talk about that. A potentially more pressing matter is these crystals. You're talking about storing psychic energy.
And he's gonna kind of shuffle those away and pull out all of his notes from studying the soul stones while he was on the boat.
What are your thoughts on this? Just first off, without context.
He's like heavily breathing, heart rate up.
I would say that it's unconventional and dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous. We've seen firsthand, but the concept of storing of energies in crystals, not elemental in nature, maybe not directly parallel to what you're currently looking into, but a similar field.
How do you mean?
This is the storage of, we're not even sure of the details. The results are so unstable that deep study outside of a stable laboratory could be disastrous. And not just for the person who's studying it, but also because these are lives. Sir, is there a way to safely unstore energy or elemental binding, but on a mortal spirit? I don't know. There's got to be a crossover of these subjects.
Well?
And if anyone's going to know about it, it's going to be you. You're kind of our last line here. And this is not just about us. This is countless children.
Sort of like looking at your notes, giving you just it's more of an intrigued look than anything else. The new knowledge is more interesting to him than anything else you're saying.
And if it can be a subject that you understand. Maybe a crystal of sorts as a form of energy storage. We're not sure if they were placed into it or if it is an actual crystallization of the energy into a physical manifest form.
Well, in
But
order to
either way,
go ahead.
either way, your intellect and knowledge could prove helpful to us, but maybe a lead to help you with your project as well, maybe worth your time looking into.
Roll a persuasion check for me with advantage.
Hot shit.
Righteous.
That is a nat 20 on the first one. I'll roll a
Nice.
second one just in case. The second one is a 5.
Okay.
I'll take the 20.
All right, you sure? The 5's on the table. I'll give
I'm
you
gonna
the
have to
choice.
go with I'm
Okay.
gonna have to go with the 20.
Merrick's, well, I would like to see one in person. That would be. Do you have one?
Actually, I don't know. Did we brought everything with us?
Kaushik is with you, and Kaushik has the bag of holding.
One moment. I'm sure it can be arranged.
Okay, not here. There's a human element to this, so how do I approach this delicately? I am not good with these scenarios historically.
I understand.
I would want to see one destroyed. To be able to witness that, I could learn so much more.
But what if that's the destruction of the soul of the captive?
Unfortunate.
I didn't go very far. I just went right outside the door. Would I have heard that with a passive perception of 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a lightly disturbed look to Milo right now.
Yeah, we'll discuss a meeting place to go over and see what other possibilities there may be looking into these crystals. Before we take our leave and agree to meet, because we do have many things that need to be done today, what was the range of capabilities? What modifications to the blueprints did you make for the armor for your not so anonymous patron?
Faster fly speed, a blade of force for the forearm, a couple of other modifications. Yours were incomplete, so I'm not exactly sure what the differences are there.
I was partially through.
Well, it's definitely a good foundation, and he hands those papers back to you. I have no need for these anymore. Regarding the crystals, just sort of like completely getting off the subject, he seems to be more interested in your other what you've brought up to him now. A failure of a project that could be of use to you, but again, I would very much like to learn. There is so much we could learn from the destruction of it. I have a safe space to do so.
Is he pausing or did he stop talking?
He paused and just sort of like waited, is trying to like see your reaction through.
A fascinating research concept. I would just need to go over it with my companions and retrieve the crystals.
You don't have them on you then?
I don't know.
Very well. Well, if you do find them, it would serve as great links because Sybaris crystals, not made for storage, made for enhancements. And to see one through, not quite sure how they were made, we would need to reverse engineer it.
Right, no, fascinating concept, and I'm sure there's much that could be accomplished with it.
He still looks a little bit disturbed and less sure of himself than he was about 10 minutes ago.
Any chance I could take a look at those blueprints before we go?
I suppose it would be a trade for trade. I suppose you're looking for the blueprints to my maelstrom manipulator. And he kind of grows sour with it when bringing it up. A failure of a project, but I still have the blueprints nonetheless.
I was referring to the armor project. Since it was built off of my project, I was just fascinated to see what your end result was.
Oh no, that was given along with the armor itself.
I understand. All right, I will reach out to you very soon. Will you be here, or is there a better way to get in contact with you?
I will be here. I froze. Okay.
Wah, wah.
I don't know if it cut off in the middle of what I was saying or whatever, but
It did.
yeah, it just says,
I thank you for your time, and we will contact you as soon as possible.
and he is going to depart and try and hustle the others out of the room.
Okay. Of course. And goes back to working what he's working on. Across the campus, pointed towards a front desk of sorts to the university and the directory. You guys come across sort of front desk where the couple of people are coming for information, and you see a couple of nice like college aged kids pointing people along, like pointing other college aged kids to like dorms and stuff for early move-in and whatnot. And so you come up to this human guy, just sort of in Moorgrave colors and like a Moorgrave t-shirt, like MGU t-shirt on with school colors on. Ah, yes. How can I help you guys? Look a little bit old to be students. I'm just playing around with you. Professor, no? How can I help?
Where do you keep the spells for learning about mental communication?
I'm sorry, I don't know if I understand the question. What's up? We don't keep like
trying to figure out how to do a multi-person telepathy spell. I think that's the word.
Sure, I'm sure we could get you. Have you submitted your application? You're a communications major.
I was told that there could be resources here to be useful to me trying to figure out this spell or look at other spells that may have possibly been made before.
I can't really help you with that, but I suppose if that's what you're looking for, our communications department is this way. I can show you.
That'd be very helpful, thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. And leads you guys on to like a communications college, and just sort of says, well, it's very dead around here. As I said before, it's winter break. There are very few students around. It says, well, I mean, this is it. I don't really know if there are any professors in at the moment, but I'm still not entirely sure what you're looking for. So
I will just say in his head, you see how I'm talking to you right now?
yes.
Right, so, and then I'll go back to the speaking. I'm trying to make it so I can do that to multiple people. That's all. Pretty simple stuff, but yeah.
Sure.
So is there like a big library in one of these buildings, or where do you keep all the spell stuff at?
It's not like we don't have a. This isn't how this works. You're not a student. You would go to school here to learn these things.
Well, let's just pretend I am a student, and it's very important that I find this spell.
Maybe I'm gonna pass this off on someone else. And walks over and just knocks on a door and says, yes, there's someone here to see you. Hope you guys get it sorted out, and walks away from you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You walk in and you have a gnomish woman sitting behind a desk, just sort of like looking over different papers and stuff. It looks like she's lesson planning, or something like that. Just sort of like, what do you call them? Like the very angled glasses on her face. Just come on in.
Yeah, hello. My name is Artyom. I'm here to try and find out about magic that I can use to speak inside of people's minds. Multiple people's minds at once. Where should I go to get those kinds of spells from?
Well, I suppose. You're very old for a student. This is. Also, what year are you? Just out of.
I don't know. Somewhere around 30-ish.
That's not quite what I meant.
I came out of the portal and I don't remember the first 15 to 20 years or so of my life.
That is completely irrelevant to what I'm asking.
You just asked how many years I was, so it's somewhere around that 25 to 30-ish.
You want to speak to multiple people in the mines all at once? Well, this...
Right, I can do a single back and forth, but to maybe set up to where me and a group of friends can speak to each other through their mind at the same time.
Right. For my knowledge, remind me of the name of the spell.
It is Telepathic Bond.
There we go. I was thinking it's like Rory's Telepathic Bond or something.
Yeah, it's
like that.
Rory's.
It's both the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the original version versus Adventurers League.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, these things do exist, but they come with a cost of tuition. You don't just. It's a cost.
Well, how much does tuition for a spell cost?
For a singular spell. These are things that are typically taught over the course of the semester.
I just need to know, like, how to do it. Just like show it to me on a piece of paper or like a book or something, and I can take care of the rest. The wizards and stuff like that from these places I learned from libraries, right?
Yes.
I've done this before a few times. It's not that big of a deal.
You've come to Moorgrave.
No.
I'm going back to my Merrick's accent. You've come to Moorgrave and learned spells.
No, I've never been here. I've never seen any of these people or you before. Never been here. I just need the information, and then I can absorb it into,
We charge for the information.
Okay, well,
over
how
the course
much
of
does it cost for the spell?
It's not. It doesn't go to me.
Okay, well, who do I need to talk to?
You would need to get admitted into the school.
I'm already here.
As a student.
I'm not asking anyone to teach me. I just need to see the material.
You are. And you don't have access to it. That's part of the tuition.
So I'm restricted from seeing this stuff.
We charge for it. There's a paywall on this information.
Money. Who do I need to give the money to?
Just exasperated.
I'm sorry, I don't think we're meeting eye to eye. You have the spell here. I give you money. You show me the spell. Boom. What's difficult about this?
Make a persuasion check.
14!
Okay. Let's see. Are the rest of you here to learn spells as well?
No.
No.
They're just kind of... We don't like to go to many places with just like one person by themselves that are assassins and stuff like that sometimes.
You know what?
I love our team so much.
I have wasted enough of my time. We are going to finish. And she closes the door with you guys in here. And she goes over to like some books that are on an appropriately sized bookshelf. Like starts scanning through them and whatnot. 100 gold.
100
and I'll
gold?
teach you how to do it. Yes.
Listen, I'm not trying to take any of your time up here. Actually, hey Crowley, do you
know what? Never mind. Go ahead. Already fucked up.
Do you have any money? Because I just realized I spent everything on alcohol.
Oh,
Crowley
Hey,
pulls
hey.
out 100 gold. Boom.
It's so great to have friends.
And he's just going to put it on the desk, like, for your troubles.
Well, this will cover the spell. Now comes the part for my troubles.
Okay.
Reaches out a hand again.
To me?
Yep, just sort of
I will
out in the no, like in a palm up sort of way.
Yeah. Okay. What is she gesturing for me to do?
Put more money in her hand.
Oh, she has 100 gold and she wants more?
Yes, she said, "This is for the spell, and now for the portion for my troubles."
Well, how much is this?
We'll start piling up gold till I feel better about the situation.
Crowley pulls out another 100 and just puts it in her palm.
Righteous.
Crowley pulls out a platinum piece and puts it in her palm.
Sort of looks towards the pocket that the money's coming from.
I'm gonna say, and this lady said, "Listen, lady, I already have the basic portions of this spell down. I just need to tie a bow on the end of it. I'm not gonna be in your hair for too long."
Well, this is fine. I'm just going to keep subtracting hundreds, I guess.
Oh shit!
Another 100.
Okay. At the extra 100, she clasps her hands close and pockets it. Brings around, so that's 300 gold and a platinum, and brings around this book, and opens it up. Somewhat similar to a message, just advanced sending and whatnot, and shows you the spell, and goes over things that Artyom probably doesn't want to hear. She goes over it in a very wizardly fashion, maybe somewhat similar to like Alexander used to teach you, and some of the frustrations that would come with that, as just trying to teach Artyom to be patient with magic when he's already had so much innate magic, and going over parts of the spell that Artyom probably wouldn't think mattered, but very, very studious like with you, and probably very reminiscent of how Alexander used to teach you.
Gotcha.
But over the course of this period, she will teach you telepathic bond. It will take about an hour to do so.
Nice. Cool beans.
Is there anything else that anybody would like to do in here while Artyom is sitting down? The reason it takes an hour is probably just because of back and forth banter with Artyom and her trying to explain why certain parts of the spell matters.
I'm going to note down for tax purposes that the Crowley Scholarship Fund is now in full effect, and that'll go to the tax man.
Okay. Right.
Need a tax break.
Artyom is on a full ride scholarship at the moment at Moorgrave University. Who would have thought?
You know, like after a while, I'll probably realize that I'm horribly inconveniencing this woman, so I'll probably just try to like make it as at least as pleasant of a situation as possible, to try and like break out of her sort of frustrated shell and just, I don't know, start giving her compliments like, how young are you? You have some really beautiful eyes. Stuff like that.
Focus. Just points back down at the book.
You're not making it easy. Come on, it's just all good fun.
I am not interested. I am taken. Thank you.
He's a lucky man.
Woman.
Or woman? Oh, yeah.
Focus.
I'm looking.
Continues on. Again, back to anything anybody else would like to do. If not, we will wrap up our session here at Moorgrave. Not our session. I'm sorry. That's not a word. We'll wrap up this time here at Moorgrave, and we'll kind of reconvene out in KJ's sky.
I did want to, as we were walking out, just kind of walk up to Milo and just kind of lean in and, quietly just, we are not giving him one of those fucking crystals to blow up.
That's why I didn't tell him that it was within reach.
He's like saying that under his breath as he keeps walking.
Just being sure. And just continue on my way.
Milo looks hella fucking disturbed right now and deep in his thoughts.
As he should.
Whole lot to think about.
Just kind of told you he was a bad guy.
Out of curiosity, I can't remember if this came up before, but it is pretty common knowledge that this is the guy who kind of was like the grandfather of the Warforged, right?
Common knowledge, sure. Yeah.
The Caniths, generally speaking, yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I started talking about them being basically his children. Okay, cool.
Okay. Everyone reconvenes after a while, taking the RTM side of that group a little bit longer to wrap up, but you guys meet outside of Moorgrave. What's up, Carl?
I get a receipt for the gold spent. I hold out my hand to her.
I have
Receipt,
no receipt
please.
to give you.
No, just
Your
tell
receipt
1 hour
is-
spent.
Your receipt is his knowledge gained here.
No, I need to know that this was spent for party purposes. Thank you.
Sure. It was.
Thank you. Yeah. Just sign here.
No,
Yes.
I would not.
Please.
Absolutely not. I would not like it getting out there that I am side hustling spells.
Well, it might get out if you don't sign this. I'll take it straight to the dean.
Shit.
What,
And she
what
signs
was
it.
this? What was this
Thank
woman's
you.
name?
Professor Merkel.
Merkel. All right.
Yes.
Oops. Did I do that?
Good day.
Stephanie Merkel.
Definitely not Angela Merkel. Definitely not.
Oh gosh.
All right, you guys reconvene. Where are you heading to? KJ's sort of just waiting on you guys. All right, where are we going?
Good question.
Going back to
Are
the
we-
chateau?
I need to get some eggs.
Yeah, sure. I can pick up eggs for you. You guys paying me 2 gold a day. I'll pick up whatever you need me to.
Did we just get back to the... Did we all get back at roughly the same time, or what?
You guys had to wait on them a little bit, but eventually they arrived. Excuse me.
Let's get somewhere where we can sit and maybe talk over lunch. We've got some news.
You're not looking very happy about meeting your hero there.
Let's talk over lunch.
Is he like a creep?
Let's talk over lunch.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Milo does not look thrilled about the idea of talking anywhere near the campus itself.
There's literally Artyom goes into his brain. He's like, are there people spying on us right now?
Maybe.
Okay. All right, where you getting lunch at so I can take you there? Steve's again? That's easy.
Sure.
All right. Just takes off,
Car. I hate this fucking car.
bringing
It was
you,
under my-
KJ, so like
turns
You know
around,
those-
sits on the steering wheel.
those carriages that were chasing you guys that you were talking about allegedly that particular night a few nights ago. How much
Which-
would the nice carriages like those probably run if you wanted to sell one? Just not in an official capacity. If we gave it to you.
If you give it to me?
Yeah.
Wait, which ones? Apologies, there's been a couple of like shady sky carriages that have been following us around a bit.
Good,
I
Crowley,
immediately
can
look
you
out the
show
back
her?
window.
Crowley, can you show her what type of the? I don't know how to describe them. Black.
Yeah, but I guess which day? Like, you're talking about at the gala? You're talking about like the ones that pulled up on you, Gandalin? Which one you talking about?
Crowley, just use your thing to show her the image or whatever. Easiest way to describe.
I'll conjure a minor illusion of the particular. I mean, they're all black as far as I know. They're all
Yeah.
the same black freaking.
Right.
I
but-
think they
all right,
mean
I-
the ones that were like outside of the apartment.
Right, the ones that were outside the apartment, the ones I'm talking
that's all I was asking. I got a decent
okay,
memory.
okay.
I'm
Okay,
just talking about when.
Yeah, those. Actually, like those two exact ones, maybe.
I mean, you want to sell one?
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably wouldn't go for very much. They would probably charge you to take it. Just being honest with you.
The charge just to give them a sky carriage.
Yeah, knowing where they come from, if they had any sort of idea.
Let's say I gave them to you, and you could sell them to people who don't know where they come from.
Then I would charge you to take it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, fair enough.
Do you know, like, can you tell just by looking at them where they came from?
Yeah, when you have paints and stuff, you could just make them look different than paints, like make them like
That is a lot of fucking paint.
You can buy more paint.
I mean, she looks at.
I'm still waiting for the answer to my question for her. I'm just looking at her in the car. Yeah.
What's up? Sorry, you know.
It's like, can you tell where they came from just by looking at them?
Can you tell where they come from? No, I mean, but you knew something was up, right? It's kind of that same vibe. It's like when you see the large white sky carriages with no windows on the side. Like it could be a painted sky carriage, but probably not.
I don't know. I do not know that feeling, no.
All right, what if I just put horse instead of sky in front of carriage? Like the horse carriage, a white horse carriage, no windows on the side. Like could just be someone going to paint a house. Could have, back seat full of kids or something like that.
I spaced out.
You're speaking from experience?
No, it's just a vibe,
Okay. So just there, I look outside. Are there any black sky carriages driving around as we go?
Make a perception check for me.
17.
No.
What the fuck? This is the only black sky carriages in this whole fucking city?
Nah, there's actually like 12 of them behind us, but they have the
fuck.
fly casual feat.
Yeah, these guys stealth check better than 17. Oh shit. Well, whatever. Could you like get rid of them at least? Like make them just goodbye, disappear.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay.
That
works for me.
I might be able to get someone to pay for the pots and stuff like that, but again, like that, no one's gonna be driving it around whole. I'll tell you that.
It's fine.
And they're gonna be real worried about. Because I'm not gonna lie to them. I got friends by being very, very upfront with my friends. And stay that way. So I'm not gonna lie to them where they come from. Just heads up on that.
I see. Maybe we just like, can you like just make these things just fall? Or if you just like turn it off and just go.
Yeah, you could.
Easy disposal.
And yeah, but action consequence. You turn it off and you don't know what's down below.
What about in the river?
Yeah, sure.
Problem solved. Done and done. Fantastic.
I'm just gonna start doing for the rest of the ride in the carriage. Start casting telepathic bond in the whole party.
Okay. That is gonna take you what?
10 minutes.
10
11
minutes plus the spell's level, correct?
Oh yeah.
So it's 15 minutes. I believe so.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was just add 10 minutes plus the casting time of the spell.
Plus, is it plus casting? I thought it was
yeah,
plus
I think
level.
you have the regular casting time of the spell plus 10 minutes to cast as a ritual.
Okay. There's probably some leftover time in the sky carriage where our team's still casting when you guys pull up to Steve's. But
Wait, don't move. It's just right there. Just one more second.
And is everybody in the party getting this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even KJ.
Even KJ? Okay. Very well. Done and done. Everybody's waiting on you.
Yeah. Like,
okay, everybody, do you hear me in your head now? This is really amazing.
Does this work just like a radio where we're all on the same channel kind of thing?
It's like a Discord channel, but in your head. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Right.
What?
What the fuck?
How am I hearing Gandalf?
What do you want? Oh shit!
I'm gonna post a meme.
Opposed to
No.
me.
Tank Meme incoming.
Oh, this is bad. Now we're gonna have mental
Oh.
shit posting.
Oh no! Why can I hear everybody in my head?
This
This
is
is
going
awful.
to last for like an hour.
I just say this shit out loud. I'm just like, why do I hear all of you in my fucking head?
I cast the spell. This is something I learned.
I don't like this at all.
But it doesn't. I mean, I'm not going to do it most of the time. It'll last for like an hour, but if we get into a bad situation, then we can silently communicate across the whole city if we wanted to.
No, this is incredibly efficient.
This is
I'm-
so cool.
I'm desperately trying to focus past hearing other people in my head, just like.
Crowley hears nothing.
Oh
Oh,
As
does
you're-
it not work on Crowley?
Not if Crowley doesn't want it to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can we mute the channel? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Because it does say
Crowley
willing
has-
creatures, right?
Yeah,
It does say willing.
You hear the disconnect sound.
Doo-doo.
Can I just make like not hear you guys that way? I don't know.
Well,
Whatever. I
Crowley
guess.
does say a very worth the tuition, Narcium. Very well done.
Well, I will pay you back from all of the gold that we all have anyway. Or you could just
What?
keep it. But it cost me some gold. It's not a big deal. It wasn't free. I think I
That
kind of
is
got
just
hustled.
school.
Right.
Possibly, but we ended up hustling her because now we have evidence of her foul play.
Well, she was very nice. I mean, she didn't have to do that. She kind of went out on a limb, kind of
I
screwed
mean-
me over. I don't know. Isn't that kind of the way that the world works anyway?
It's how Sharn works.
With
it's
as much
fine.
money as
Right.
Crowley gave her, she should have been extra nice. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
Screwing
I-
each
I-
other
I
in a
feel like-
mutually
I
beneficial
feel
way.
like if I were going to ballpark how much I think this spell is worth, I'd say it comes in somewhere like 250 gold, not quite 300.
300 and a platinum.
Oh shit! Definitely not that much. That's like say like 250-ish tops.
Welcome to Steve's. You still
No.
Now I'm just imagining us going into like a regular restaurant and everyone's sitting down at a table looking at each other and they just don't say a fucking word the whole time they're there.
I mean,
Just a
that's
bunch of
probably,
weird creepos.
It's probably about what's about to happen.
Hell no.
Just Crowley and Gandalf talking while everyone else is just like,
One of the other things that is really amazing about having the ability to speak in someone else's head is that you can actually communicate a lot faster than having to flap your lips around all the time.
Reconnect, start thinking in 4D chess. All right, guys, pawn this.
I don't. This game looks slightly familiar, but not quite. I don't like it.
all right. So are we seated or we just arrived? What's the
Seated.
deal?
some ales poured for you. It's the afternoon. You have an afternoon work shift here at Steve's. But other than that, it's kind of it's more empty than it was when you guys were here the other night. But there's still some lunch patrons around.
Downing about a third of the thing of ale before he gets started, Milo will then put out through the Discord channel.
All right. So the tar cannons have an armor set. It turns out that when I fled, some of my notes got left behind, and Merrick Stakanath himself was contracted to finish the job. So one of the best artificer engineers of our lifetime has given the people who want to kill me a much, much, much better version of what I've got right now. And they also took the blueprints. So clearly it's not just that they want the armor, it's that they want all other traces of the armor and other people's ability to replicate it to be gone.
And they probably want to make more of them.
I don't know. I don't even know who it's for.
Well, it is for the Dark Endings, right?
Right, but
This
if
guy
like,
doesn't keep any like records of who he gives things to.
it was anonymous.
Well,
Shouldn't
that's
there
the
be like some type of law against you making like super weapons of like really destructive power to just random people?
When you're in the social category of Mr. Merrick's, those kinds of laws tend not to land on you.
So you're saying that he's just breaking the law?
Probably.
I mean, I don't know if there's like actual hardline laws about that in Sharn, Mr. Dungeon Master. So
I'll give. Well, I mean, those types of law. Milo wasn't a law student, but you are aware that like some laws that are affecting Kenneth himself is that he is not able to produce and is forbidden to produce Warforged. But other than that, not much that Milo would know in that category.
I don't know if it was like an industry known law or something.
Right. No,
Do
this is
not produce WMDs for
Nothing.
strangers.
Nothing specific, but even if there is, I doubt that it's something that he would have to cleave to. The law doesn't affect everyone equally.
Why is he cleaving the law?
That's, horrifyingly enough, not the most disturbing piece of news that I got. So, he was working on a project that involved storing energy, and when I broached the subject of the crystals as maybe a subject of interest for him, he helps us figure out how to release the stored energy, and he gets to learn how to store energy in crystalline form. I figured that was something that would benefit us both. He wants to destroy one of the crystals, which is horrifying for obvious reasons.
Yes, that's a terrible thing, but you're saying that he wants to discover how to actually do this to other people, and you trust him with that information.
Well, he's not wanting to store souls or whatever. He's talking about storing latent mental energy, which is it's a psychic phenomena which is previously thought of as not particularly useful or relevant to most studies. In theory, his current project could provide a great power source at little to no cost to the citizens of Sharn, at least on the surface of my understanding of the subject. But I thought that because it's still an energy storage concept, it's relevant, though, a kind of a crossover of academia subjects. But right now I'm concerned because he seems unconcerned by the potential loss of existence for whatever's in the crystals. I mean, maybe it's just a release of energy, but maybe it's more, and we don't know. That's a lot to go on, I guess, to risk someone's soul.
Because he does not care one way or the other.
Right.
Right?
This guy uses it is it. You know, like an ex-murderer, the term ex-murderer. Murder.
I
Right.
mean, a person who kills people with axes?
Right, but axes are made for chopping wood, not really for murdering people, right? This guy,
Well, right, yes.
right?
Sometimes.
He might make storage device for psychic energy, but it might get used for just going. We have these prisoners. We could just make a really nice weapon if we just killed them, right?
Milo looks somewhat more disturbed than he did 30 seconds ago, which is an impressive feat in and of itself. And is quiet.
This guy's literally first thing is, hey, let's just destroy a child soul, just so we can know. And don't get me wrong, I understand if you go fishing, you got to put a worm on the hook, as they say, I think. But
I don't think they say that. I think that just is a thing you have to do.
anyway, it sounds like it should be a saying. You need to kill a worm to get a fish. I don't know.
If it was an absolutely necessary sacrifice to save countless, maybe, but he didn't even slow down and think. He just said, let's do it, and unfortunate about the loss. It's his lack of concern about it that's disturbing more than anything else.
Did you tell him that his new suit thing's going to be used to kill lots of people? Well, I mean, it's a weapon. So
It's a weapon. That's kind of in the job description.
That it's going to be used in the town against civilians, not like a war thing.
I don't know. Maybe they're just going to use it to kill other people, like high-ranking soldier people. they'll probably not risk it just gunning down people in the streets, but I don't know. It's a lot. I need to think. That I don't even know where to go next. That was our biggest lead on what to do with these crystals.
Well, what do the rest of you think? Gordon, Melvin?
I mean, if we knew for a fact that those stones getting destroyed didn't purely destroy the souls contained within them, but we don't know that.
Right.
There's no way to know if they actually go to their afterlives, and I don't know. That don't like it.
In my opinion, I would say it's pretty safe to assume that their souls are destroyed when the crystal explodes.
Yeah, it
That
kind
would
of
be
seems like
my thought.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of seems like
Yeah.
it destroys everything, right?
I don't know what to do next. That was.
I mean,
I thought that we had a great opportunity to at least
do you
handle the crystals that we had.
do you not think with enough time, Milo, you could figure it out without medic's help?
Man, maybe with a lab and assistance and equipment and time being probably the resource that we have the least access to right now. And it's dangerous to deal with on the ship, because if something goes wrong, you really want one of those going off in the ship?
Well,
Right.
I mean, if we stop them from making more of them, then we have all the time in the world to figure it out.
Yes.
What
I
if
agree.
we tell the Merrick's man that we'll meet him on an airship this afternoon and just see what happens? That this guy knows all about how this thing is done. I don't know how that might go, or if
He
maybe
says-
do it.
He says he has a safe testing chamber. He specifically wants to meet in the university at his offices. Because that's where he's got all his lab stuff set up.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
And
Fuck
now
if
we
they're-
have to be on the lookout for, he points at his backpack, this, but better, faster, more weapons.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Well, this is good. If they send those suits after you, Milo, we can, kill the people inside, and then you can make other suits out of them and give them one to Gandalf and you try to get some armor.
No.
If I can get those blueprints, that would be nice. Or make some. More research. Everything requires time. Need more time.
This is true. Okay, well,
Finish that out.
can't you track magic and stuff? Like, I know how to do detect magic, and I can see where magic and stuff goes, and I know that this place is kind of congested with magic all over the place. But is there a way that you could track this suit if he gave you, I don't know, access to some of the parts he had for it, or at least see what it might be? I mean, if we can find out where the suit's at and get the schematics, we can just go there, destroy the schematics, and there you go. I mean, they're already trying to kill us. I don't think it's
I don't
gonna make
wanna-
that big.
We'll be taking the schematics, thank you, not destroying them.
Okay, well,
But definitely make sure that they don't have access to one.
nah.
Dungeon Master, would Milo have any idea if that was something that was even possible?
What's that?
The using creation components to try and bloodhound out the location of the armor.
They would have to have been at some point or still in the suit itself. Getting components that are simply related to it wouldn't really get you what you're looking for. So if you could suss out a piece that was in the armor before, perhaps. Yeah.
Not likely. Tools that were used to work on it, probably not intimate enough of a connection for tracking magic like that to work. We would actually need a component or previous component of the armor itself.
I take it that Mr. Merrick, he didn't really put in any contingency or like backdoor plan.
I doubt it, maybe. We didn't exactly stay to talk after things went south
Right.
with the
Yeah,
crystal discussion.
it kind of sounds like he's loosey-goosey with things that kill lots of people.
Yeah.
You think?
So
As you guys are having this conversation in your head, and the table is nearly completely quiet, and you're just sort of looking at each other, speaking. Gain, when the ale hits your stomach a little bit sideways, and just let out a slow creaking.
The mental conversation comes to a halt while everyone slow turns to look at Gandalf.
It has been one of those days. I was like, continue to drink ale. Like,
I agree with Gandalf 100%.
But regardless,
This is a part of a situation.
Do we want to stick around to try to deal with this, or do we want to go with the original plan of tell them where he is and then try to jump them? And then bounce.
I don't know.
We are unfortunately on a timeline, but
Right.
this armor could be a problem.
It's
Perhaps if
definitely
they
going...
come.
Oh, go ahead.
Go, Artyom.
Yeah, I was just agreeing. It's definitely going to be a problem. It's only going to get worse.
Perhaps if we tell them where Milo is, they'll send the armor to us.
That is a good point. That could
That's
at least
a
delay it.
wonderful point.
Yeah, he's like, that's horrifying as a concept.
So we could deal with the suit they have, and like presumably it would take some time, even if they still got the blueprints to make another one.
Plus, they'd have to contract it through Merrick's. Even if he gave them the blueprints, I'm not sure they would have the tools or expertise necessary to assemble something.
Right.
At least not without great expense.
Which, from what I understand, they could do that. But
How do we make the situation seem dangerous enough for them to want to send their new shiny toy after after Milo, without making too difficult of a fight for us?
I mean, do we know that it wasn't already there?
How long ago did he make this armor?
I didn't ask, to be honest.
Presumably, it was before this morning.
Yeah, it's been within... It was not just before this morning, but it was before the gala, because he mentioned that it was familiar to him, my blueprints, at the gala.
So odds may be good that it was in one of those cars. Crowley, you wouldn't happen to have seen anybody in large hulking armor that looked kind of like Milo in there.
Well, no, but before the gala, I doubt they were actually there.
No, I meant not in the gala, in the car, in the carriage, outside your parents' house.
They seemed quite comfortable in the car, and I wouldn't be able to tell either way if they had the pack beside them or not. I only saw the one in the front that rolled down his window.
I'll say, even with Barrick's natural 20 and your perception check being that close to the car, Crowley, you did not see a set of armor.
Something fully completed with the flight speed upgrades that Merrick's outlined to me while we were there probably wouldn't be in a sky carriage.
Okay, so...
I mean, if they're trying to keep it hidden, it might be.
I'm presuming with the top cannons, the situation will be more bring Milo to them than bring the armor to Milo from their perspective. I think they'd rather take him off the take him to the fight, then take the fight to him. If that makes sense.
They came out to his parents' house.
Right, but not with the armor, presumably.
If we call them and have them come to us, we beat those guys up. We make sure we don't kill the one that Crowley spoke to with the fucked up eye, and then we tell them, hey, you tell them to send this armor out here, or we're gonna start cutting off your toes.
That's a little direct. If we tell them to send the armor out, they're probably going to do exactly not that.
Well, I mean, presumably he would, like, in wanting to keep his toes, he would give them a reason that wasn't, hey, I need you to send the armor out right now because they're going to cut off my fucking toes. He would give them a good reason.
Could try, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Or he could at least tell us where the armor is, and then we kill him and then go find the armor.
I guess the first step in the next actions are, how do we let them know where I'm at? Do I just
Sending stone
walk?
again?
Right. Crowley says in Sending Stone, he makes herself look like father and says, "Oh no, my son, he has stolen us away, and he has 5 friends, and they're all in this crazy armor. Come to the top of this building. I get him. He's going to cause all kinds of trouble. Help."
Is there
And
like a place that is
there you
not
go.
the top of a building that's a little more discreet?
Could even do it in their house, technically.
You know where we could
They're
go?
gone.
That no one will notice. The doctor's house.
Oh, that's a good point. There's not a lot of. Let's
Oh,
not do that
Lord.
either.
Oh Lord.
KJ's in this link too, right? I'm gonna ask KJ, like, hey KJ, you know anywhere where we could like discreetly like beat the shit out of a bunch of people?
Like a warehouse. We could even let them know that I've got like a
That's a
lab
good
set up
idea.
there or something.
I mean,
Right.
it's Sean. You go far enough down, you can just do it in the middle of the street and no guards around.
That works. Okay,
Sure. Just
like
Just
It's
give
not
them
bad idea.
an address or something, and they'll show up. But what do we say to make it more of a, hey, come bring your special toy? I don't think you can just throw goons at this and then we have a really big fight.
Well, I think that knowledge that I had a lab or something set up there could draw particular interest. Because if they want to destroy all other remnants and capability of this armor being replicated, that would be a big step towards that.
that's not a bad idea.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey,
Well-
my son came and he spirited me away, and he's hiding out. We're hiding out in his workshop down here.
He doesn't even necessarily have to like maybe he just came back and left really fast, but told them where we were staying. Like,
Well-
hey, we're down in this shady area. If you need us, just be careful if we come down there.
Well, if he
I'm
gives a location and he's disguised as my father, he could even be tied up in the warehouse.
Holy shit, we tied up your father.
They can
Well,
just be
if we
Crowley.
spirited him away,
I don't know.
maybe I found out that he did what he did, and I was understandably very upset.
Indeed. I mean,
Crowley, you
How-
will note that as they're having this conversation, you have dispersed that identity.
I know. I'm
Okay.
fully unclear.
okay.
All right.
But I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to make him look like your father, and we have to lure them into some kind of trap.
Mhm.
I guess just still, I mean, I think that we can get people there to come and try and kill you. No big deal. Just bringing the armor. Now, I think I have an ability that I could probably find out where that Scarface man, where he might be. I'll need a couple of extra components to do it. Just kind of look over at Crowley and shrug a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting spell.
Okay.
Tell me about it. What is
It's-
your...
It's kind of like a spy spell, or I can kind of let my consciousness sort of go out to where a person's at, and sort of, it's kind of in the workshopping phase a little bit. I'll need a couple of things to get it going, but it could be worth using.
Hey DM, with that magical tracking thing we kind of discussed earlier for the armor, if we had a component that was in the armor, is there a similar way to do tracking? Since the sending stones are like inherently connected, like magically, would there be a way to like ping the location of the other sending stone that's the other half of that pair?
Well, the magic that Artyom's talking about right now, you think would work on the sending stone because the sending stone came from somewhere. Supposedly on the other side of it.
We'll
Someone
bring that up to our gym.
What if you did that on wherever this goes?
Vault sending stone.
What do you mean, wherever that goes?
They're a pair. They're linked. That's a part of the magic. Could you use that to trace it back?
This is more like a creature, or an animal, or a person, or like a monster or something. Not really much of an object tracking kind of thing.
Something to think about, since they are for sure linked, and I know links like that can be important in location-based magics.
I think if I was trying to talk to the guy on the other end of the sending stone, having a sending stone might help out a little bit and kind of focusing in. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt at all. I mean, I feel like I could find that guy fairly easily, but it seems like it might be more easy to. I don't think it's going to point me directly where he is. I just kind of think about it, and then I can see where that person's at. I don't know exactly where that person is at. If that makes sense. So if he was just like sleeping in a bedroom, I'd just be like, well, he's in a bedroom somewhere in Sean. But for instance, maybe if we were to give him a call, and then at the same time I do my spell, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to hop in my sky carriage and go to you. I can see where he leaves from me.
What would you need to be able to do that?
Yeah, just a few extra components to, I don't know, I kind of feel like I need something like some object of focus, maybe like get some sort of lens or a telescope or like a glassware or maybe glasses or something like that.
So,
I'll know when I see it. Druid, I mean, it's just druid magic. It's kind of, you gotta feel it out a little bit.
Here's a plan.
Probably something like worth 1,000 gold or something like that.
We get an unoccupied little warehouse or storage area. So we pick a location lower down. We set up there, and we combine both ideas.
Okay.
You scry the man with the scar.
That's a good name for the spell.
You spy on the man with the scar to listen to him and hear what he's saying and hearing. And we will then have Crowley use the sending stone to speak to him, or to speak to whoever. We will then hear if there's any conversation, what orders are given, any names involved. We'll get more information that way. So we're getting ears on them and then provoking them to see if we can hear any locations or names they may say during that verbal exchange. And then we can still jump whoever comes to the warehouse where we've set up the ambush.
I feel like it's got deception and fighting and finding out where the armor might be. I like it.
Well, it's also the best we got on short notice, I think, unless anyone else has any other ideas.
I would very much like to kick the shit out of some dark cannons. You guys are fucking assholes.
I will say,
I agree.
Got a little bit of tension myself, so.
I will say, if we steal their other armor set, they will probably be twice as pissed and coming after you still.
But
Just put that out there real quick.
Math with Gandalf, twice as pissed. 2 armor, twice as pissed. Sorry.
we should
Yeah,
leave
that's-
a note.
that is-
if we
that is
get better
efficient.
armor, we should definitely leave a note. Like now we have 2 armors. You guys suck.
Don't fuck with us.
Put one of the dwarves in the armor. Boom! Super
So-
dwarf.
If
Put
we're
us all
agreed,
in that armor.
if we're agreed, we should get your components and then go ahead and secure a location to start this ambush, or start preparing for the ambush.
Sure. KJ, you got
Okay.
anywhere in particular that would like stands out as a good idea?
Preferably somewhere unoccupied.
There's tons of places unoccupied. I could get you somewhere.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
This goes off without a hitch, you get a bonus.
Just as a complete
Who's-
aside,
Who's paying this
I
bonus?
had no idea what
Milo
this
raises
macaroni
his hand.
stuff is, but it is amazing. This is the best thing I might have ever eaten in my life.
I got the bread bowl. Slaps. They put the food in the bread. Genius. Like, why have regular bowl when you can just eat the food that's in it and then eat the bowl afterwards? So smart.
We
Gandalf
It
discovers
actually kind of looks like maybe the smartest thing I've ever seen in Sharn. Like, the flying cars and everything are impressive, but you put food in food to eat it. It's like, why do we even need plates anymore? This is just dumb that we even have plates.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the Kipo episode where they discover brunch. Exactly.
Did you guys wrap up your
Yeah.
conversation? And go ahead. Someone was saying something? No? Okay. Well, never mind then. Do you guys wrap up your conversation and your plan and load up with KJ for her to take you to get some components and potentially to a location for potential ambush you had to break. Thank you so much,
What could
everybody, for
possibly go wrong?
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, all the follows and everything. We really appreciate you guys. And the raid that I saw earlier, Hope, thank you for that. We will be back very soon. We're just going to take a quick bio break. Give us like 10 minutes and 15 minutes, and we'll be back soon. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Bye.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Oh,
It is us, all of the same people that were here just a few moments ago. We
We're
are
actually all very different. We just look the same.
doppelgangers. Anyways, just a brief summary, and we're gonna hop right back into our story. Our adventurers ventured off to speak to Merrick's Decanith, one of Milo's childhood heroes. After speaking with him about several different things, finding out several different pieces of information, including that someone had recently commissioned him for Merrick's, that is, commissioned him for a very similar suit of armor that Milo dons himself, a very advanced piece of equipment. Brandishing some of Milo's old notes, Merrick's all but confirmed of who commissioned this armor. After the fact, Milo also shared with Merrick's that there are some soul-storing crystals, to which Merrick's was very intrigued with, as Sybaris crystals aren't typically used for storage. And by typically, I mean ever. They are used for enhancements. So he was very intrigued, and he saw how volatile and dangerous they were from Milo's notes. He wanted to explore that further, and in order to get a very deep understanding of these crystals, that he would need to destroy one. Uncomfortable with that, Milo took his leave from Merrick's laboratory. Artyom also bothering Professor Merkel. There it is,
Merkel,
Professor
yeah.
Merkel, the communications professor at Moorgrave, about a new spell, telepathic bond. Learned that, and we ended with the party discussing their strategy for potentially ambushing some Tarkanan assassins and attempting to bait out this high piece of tech through various.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
Wah, wah.
I'm still here.
Oh. Oh, shit. Everybody's cameras just disappeared from me.
Oh.
Let's see how this is.
Okay, I was
Oh,
like,
no.
y'all are still moving and I see stuff, so I'm not DC'd. However,
okay. Oh, jeez.
stream looks fine, so
Oh, jeez.
but we picked back up with the party loading back up into KJ's sky carriage after a lunch from Steamy Steve's because they left Erish and did not grab their sandwiches. And he now has 7 sandwiches on his hand for Milo's parents, and I'm sure Bill will eat a solid portion of those as well. So
Put 'em in the
Well-fed
fridge.
butler.
Put them in the fridge. Put them in the cooler. Eric,
the
put the sandwiches in the cooler.
he will definitely utilize the Samsung smart fridge for those.
Sick.
Anyways, the party has now left Steve's for other spell components, as well as to find somewhere to set up said ambush. So loading up, KJ looks behind you, or looks behind her. All right, guys, what's first? We going shopping first, or we going down somewhere to find somewhere quiet?
Let's go to a magic shop that might have some components and things like that to get what we need to make this plan come to fruition.
Sure, tell me what you need. I can take you to the right place.
I don't know, like a lens or like a crystal or like a glass ball or something like that. Something that elicits a manipulation of vision.
Yeah, that sounds something like the Philosopher's Stone would have. Come on, we'll see. We'll at the very least try it out. And she takes you on, taking off once more, bringing you to a familiar set of 2 shops that you have previously visited. And going inside, just to kind of abbreviate and not role playing out the whole thing, you are looking for spell components for scrying, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a different spell pulled up. Give me 2 seconds. As I pull this up. Okay.
Look at that.
Orville ends up pulling up for you a small greenish hued sphere that he thinks should work for you. It has some fairly like a bronze stand that comes with it, but pushes it across the desk on this like red cloth. Says this should work for you. Just say for the prices of the material and me procuring it, 1,200 gold.
I just look at Crowley, whoever is the closest party member to me at the time, because I have no money. Yeah, is that sound alright to you? Milo! Wait, Milo, you know about magic stuff. Is this worth 1,200 gold?
That is a 16 on Knowledge Arcana.
It's around there. It's a bit inflated, but it's around that price. It's worth around that price.
A little high, but not extortionate.
Come on, buddy, bump it down a little bit. We're repeat customers, right? Yeah. We might buy something else. What else? Do you have anything new for sale? One of those wing boots?
That's actually a good point. We are probably not going to have an opportunity to get.
We actually have a shit ton of money, like hundreds of thousands of platinum or
Will
something.
you
like
shut
that.
up, Artyom?
This
Trying
guy
to
will
get
show
us
us the good
mugged.
stuff. He shows all the really great stuff if we know we have so much money, right?
Any equipment or tools you may need for the rest of our visit to Sharn, you might want to get now.
And that this is addressing like the group.
Well, I don't have much new. I still have, and remembering Kaushik's face and her desire for the cloak, I still have the cloak of the bat. What you see is now displayed on a rack in the like in the window. Still have the cloak of the bat. I still have many of the things that you've left here. Not many new items.
Do you still have the hat of disguise?
I do.
If we buy in bulk, would you perhaps be willing to give us a small discount?
We could discuss that. It would depend on everything bought, but
Actually, would you know or would you sell raw materials used in artificery and alchemy and other such following?
I have some raw materials. It depends on quite what you're looking for, though. I would need to know the components to which to look for.
List off, basically things that he could use in like future engineering projects, either for other weapons or building up his armor. So metals, wires, gems, special woods, the kinds of things he used to originally make his armor, and then what he projects he might need to improve it should he actually get his paws on these blueprints.
Do you have like magic materials? Like not materials used in the process of creating magic, but materials that are themselves magic? Like adamantine and mithril and
I'm not too much of an armor dealer, but I don't have those types of raw materials. Beckoning back towards you, Milo, if that's what you're looking for. That are in themselves innately magical. Not really a hot seller around Sean.
Well, other than the crystals and the gems, they wouldn't necessarily need to be enchanted right off the bat. Just things, unworked metal sheets and wires, blocks of these woods, and he'll list off a few. Crystals and gems of these types, list off a few.
do you have any ironwood perchance?
No worry, I can't say that I do.
Just gonna whisper, I don't even know if that's actually real, but I heard it one time and it sounds pretty cool.
Can't say that I do. And I'm more of an items shop. But I have some raw components and foci and the like. Gems you mentioned, we could work something out. And he kind of beckons over to part of what his counter is and just different like arcane foci and gems and stuff like that behind the counter. Well, I'm sure we could work something out. But as far as
being in the local community, where would I go to get those kinds of things? It's been a while since I've been shopping around this area.
Milo is kind of like a premier enchanter of really intricate kind of niche things. He wouldn't overlap with your company so much, but I mean, he might be able to make some things that you could put in your store. So it's kind of like an investment for you because, I mean, they'll just be making money off of this poor guy.
Sorry, I am trying to find an area of Sharn that is very the crafting district. I think it's called the Gates or something similar, and I should know this, like the Copper Gates or the Bronze Gates or something. Shit, I apologize. Is it seriously not going to tell me? I had this down at one point. I'm sorry, guys. We are going to go with Coppergate, though, and that's what I'm going to stick with. And I will rename it. For something crafting raw materials, and like there are several craftsmen at the Coppergates closer to the northern side of the city. There's a lot of artisans down there that work with a lot of raw materials. I'm sure if you were to talk with them, they would be more than willing to help assist you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, of course.
But do you have anything else new though? Like anything at all? No new shipments since we were last in here?
No, it's just been a few days. It's much the same. I did show your friends a deck of illusions that wasn't aware that the card stopped working after the fact. With one less card than it originally came with, but and that is
How much was that cloak?
the cloak would be. He checks his ledger and price tag on it. 8,000 gold.
Oh shit, that is very expensive. Yeah.
And the hat of disguise?
Hat of disguise is 800 gold.
Oh, 800 gold.
Definitely cheaper.
Yeah, I'll just. Well, is there anything else anyone sees?
Just gotta give you guys a rundown of what he's had in here. He had a bag of holding. You purchased the belt of giant strength. He had a circlet of blasting, the cloak of the bat, the deck of illusions. You purchased the ever smoking bottle. You just purchased that, he still has the hat of disguise. He still has the immovable rod. You've purchased the potions of healing. He also has a mummy rot antidote and oil of slipperiness.
How much was the immovable rod?
5,000 gold.
Oh. Okay. Holy shit.
Very expensive. The movable rod could be useful. That cloak could be useful, but it is a bit expensive.
Nah. It's.
I don't think any of us individually have the money, so this would have to be group funds would have to be used to buy anything in here. So.
Well, we should be spending what we need to be as prepared as we can for following events. So.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I appreciate your efforts to get your stuff sold, but this is a private. We're talking in our heads right now. Screw him.
Are you?
Oh,
no one said that. No one said that.
I didn't think about it. I just look at him and then I proceed to only speak internal. I proceed to only after he says that, I look at him and then I turn and I start talking in our head.
Okay.
Just change the frames in the stream to thought clouds.
I'm just gonna kind of look around if we were trying to do an ambush, that cloak apparently does assist in stealth. So if we wanted to augment my abilities or somebody else's, it'd also be useful to a later date if it would allow somebody else to fly.
What the bat cloak?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny looking. Yeah. I think you should get it totally just to see you.
What does the cloak look like? I don't even remember.
It's like black leather, but stretched out and ends in points around the edges.
Sick.
Very gothic type style.
Gotcha. I mean, it could be.
Man, looking like Batman.
But the cloak only works in the shadows, right?
Yeah.
For the flying, but it makes you better at sneaking all the time. And usually when you're trying to sneak around, it's in the dark. So it would be a little more, but I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. That is something we want to have. The immovable rod. I mean, I find it a bit far-fetched that it is completely immovable, but it must be pretty good, right? If it's got a name like that.
It's pretty immovable.
So I mean that could come in handy all sorts of ways. And we have quite a bit of money, so.
Right, but I mean, we have lots of different uses for the money. I don't know if you guys want to buy an 8,000 gold cloak with the money. I'm completely okay with that. And just part of me feels kind of guilty knowing that 8,000 gold could literally save like 200 lives in the right situation.
Well, keep in mind, if this helps us succeed at our long-term tasks, we'll be saving a lot more than a couple hundred lives.
If we're not using it for anything at all, it's helping nobody.
It is true. But I mean, look at this guy. I mean, obviously talking in our heads. Look at this guy. Like, he just has this magic shop. He makes this stuff. It's like all way probably overpriced from what Milo was saying. I mean, we could just swing by this place and steal all of his shit on the way out of town for a lake area. He's not going to go homeless tomorrow. 8,000 gold. And do you think that this guy's shop is worth, the livelihoods of a couple hundred people? That's just kind of the way I see it. Milo, you're muted.
Cody.
You have to use the spell.
to pay now and then do what we can to help others later.
I imagine if we get a hold of the suit of armor, even if we don't sell the suit, if we like sold it for scrap, that I mean all the like components and stuff that they use to make it probably pretty expensive.
Right. I will be trying to acquire some materials. I already spoke to the proprietor about it. And if we end up not getting the blueprints, looks physically at this point, most of those materials will still be useful for the crafting of other items. While we travel, I can work on making some things for us. So we'll see. But I'm not going to get a chance to shop for some of these items and materials that I'll need to make things for us as a group anytime soon. So, like I said, before we kick the hornet's nest, let's make sure we've got everything we need.
I was just thinking about something. Okay, so I guess we should probably ask the shopkeeper about this, or someone who knows a little bit more about these things, or maybe Milo can tell me. So, if you are in smoke, would that technically be considered a dark area, since it's like shadowy smoke stuff?
I wouldn't know. That'd probably require some testing on my part if he doesn't know the answer, but he might.
But so if Melgrim has an ever smoking bottle, and you take the bottle, and you could just be a smoke cloud flying around with a bat cloak.
But then you also couldn't see.
Well, I mean, that's an issue that you'll have to figure out. I mean,
yes, that is an issue.
You'll stop when you hit something, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Anyway, my 2 cents is that we need to get what we need, and we're not going to get another chance, likely, to have access to the resources that Sharn has available.
Right. Shopkeeper, do you have any type of magic item that lets you see through smoke?
No, I don't.
Darn. Still mentally, I'm just like, well, I don't know if these items will definitely be useful, but they could be. So I think that it's at least worth considering.
Right, for sure. I'm going back to mental.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to get the cloak and everything, that's fine. We can test it out. At best case scenario, you can just fly around all crazy like a smoke cloud, and everyone will just think that you're just some sort of weird cloud, and you can just spy on everyone. Worst case scenario,
I can't spy on people if I can't see.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. I'm sure Milo can do something. I mean, he can fly. I'm pretty sure he can have some foggy goggles that you can use, or some shit like that. Milo, you're magical in more than just the arcane sense. You can figure it out. I feel completely confident in your ability to do this.
Milo is touched by Archie's faith.
If you're inside of a cloud, they can't even see you, and you can just hide in the cloud. You would basically be a cloud. You'd be like a cloud monk. I don't know if it's really a thing or not.
So we want to get this. We could use that rod, like, if it is movable, we could, like, when they get there, just stick it like on the carriage. It cannot leave.
I mean, I can just turn into a giant snake and wrap it around the carriage. It's not going anywhere.
Right, but then if you're wrapped around the carriage, you're not murdering them.
Well,
I mean, I'm a pretty big snake. I can wrap around the carriage and still get in there and just throw some.
And there's
people
also
down.
like two, so you could wrap around one, and then we use the rod to stop the other from going
I
anywhere.
can use summon on the other one and another big snake.
we should be getting what we're gonna get and hurry. We only have
I
till
don't
this
know,
evening.
I say we get them just
5,000 gold sounds like a lot for a door stopper.
Well, we know
A
for
little bit
sure
more
that
than a door stopper.
the cloak and the hat.
Sure, let's get the cloak and the hat, and of course the ball. The scribe ball.
Cloak and hat,
Well,
no.
yes, that obviously.
Cloak and hat, no. Whatchamacallit? Fuck.
The
no
scribe.
rod.
Yeah, well, I was gonna take for the hat, so it's okay.
Okay.
We can
So
just use
we
party funds for
so
things.
cloak for the party funds. Okay. All right, we are going to buy your cloak, and our friend in the mask here is going to buy your hat.
Should it be gift wrapped?
Not the hat. No, I'll be wearing it. out.
No.
So
Okay.
like all
No.
together, talking deal here, 9,000 gold for all three. It is a very good price.
We have the 8,000 gold cloak, we have the 800 gold hat, and we have the 1,200 gold scrying ball.
Shit. Very expensive.
So
So 9,000 gold, nice 10% right off the top.
make a persuasion check.
That would be a 16.
You have been repeat customers. 9,000 gold.
Hey,
Oh, what a fucking legend!
it's awesome. You're a great
All
guy.
right.
I'm gonna tell everyone to come and go to this shop in particular for the rest of the time that I'm in town. Everyone I see.
So we just hand him
And then I'll say
900
mentally, like,
platinum.
I'll probably be killing those people, but I'll definitely let them know.
Sponsored by fucking all.
What was the name of this place?
The
Sorcerer's
full.
Stone.
Yes.
Yeah, just beat someone. Do you shop at the Lich's Bitch? Wrong shop. Bah.
And I will use my Kalashtar ability to ask this guy in his head, do you have I've heard the little wands that you can use that make people smile, like show their teeth, and it is really funny. Do you have any of those?
He starts like scowling a bit when you mention this. He says, "That would be more in my brother's realm of expertise."
Oh well, yeah, that guy's
I
a total. That
hate
guy's a total.
that
Yeah,
thing.
I don't even want to go. You know, it kind of smelled when I was in there last time, so yeah, but we're definitely not going over there. We'll just finish this up and no big deal. I really appreciate the discount, by the way. You're a stand-up guy.
I'm
And then-
over there
and then
one
over
at a
the party
time counting
connection, I'll say,
900
We gotta go
platinum
next
pieces
door
out the
after
back of
this
the
so I
thing.
can pick up something else.
Oh, God. Yeah, right, nice.
Very well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. 900 platinum.
Goodbye.
Yeah, just. Yeah, I mean, how often you get played in platinum? Like, that's really cool. All right, bye. Walk off.
Shit. This guy have any diamonds?
He had
We're
various
getting ready
like arcane foci and stuff like that, but no like raw materials. And
Okay.
it's called the Copper
We're-
Arch, by the way, not Copper Gates.
Nice.
Copper
That's
Arch.
close. Copper
Yeah,
Arch
that was very
gate.
close.
We're theoretically going to be visiting the craft supply store soon, so
We'll go to Hobby
you're
Lobby.
You're gonna go get.
Gobby Lobby.
Oh god. I'm just gonna like wrap up the cloak in the back and just shove it in the bag. Hold on, that shit.
Okay.
What are you putting clothes in the bag? Hold on. I'll just take my backpack off and shoulder it a little bit, and just take the nice suit that I got that I just shoved in my backpack and put it in the bag of holding as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just poofs it up so much.
Sure.
Where are you going from here?
Directly to his brother's shop. I will use pass without a trace.
How many charges?
Where are you going?
How many charges do you have
to
left
pick
on
up
it?
something real quick. Hey, Crowley, can I borrow like I don't know, 100 gold?
100 gold. There you go. That's the last.
I appreciate that. So I will give him a kiss on the cheek, or a kiss on the side of the mask, I guess.
Quick question for you: how many charges do you have left? Because this will be the third time you've cast Pass Without a Trace today.
It doesn't have any charges.
There's no charges for it. Okay.
Yeah, Pass Without a Trace is
Pass Without a Trace is at will.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Stupid.
It's fine. It's fine. Staff gets a little bit darker in your hand.
Oh no. 13 plus things, 26 total. I think that's what that is.
To stealth over.
Yes. Woo. What's my stealth? Yeah. So 10 plus 3, so 13 plus 13. There you go.
As you step out and the shadows just sort of cling to you. Oh, it looks like there might be a storm coming, and then you just sort of disappear out of sight. Right over to the Lich's bitch.
Hey, it'll be right, mate. Don't even worry about it. Hey,
okay,
Lich bitch, man. That sounds like I'm insulting you. Do you
Nimrod,
have the...
thank you.
What?
Nimrod.
Your name is Nimrod.
Yes.
Oh. Right. Okay. I'm not going to call you that either.
That's my name. How can I help you,
sir? Do you have the wines that make people smile?
I have this one. He like pulls out a wand from like his inner jacket.
Oh.
Can I buy that?
How much are you willing to pay?
Hey, I get 100 gold from Crowley, but he's probably going to be mad if I don't bargain a little bit, so somewhere below 100 gold. 90 gold. Let's go. I'm in a hurry. If you don't want to sell it, you look like you're having really... You just are going to regret even pulling it out in the first place.
He just holds his hand out for the gold.
I will take 10 gold and give him back the 90.
He hands off the wand of smiles to you.
All right.
Does he cry a little bit as he does so?
Are you sure? Do you want? You seem so sad. I'm gonna cast it on him.
He says it's I'm not gonna get over to smile that way anymore. So no worries. Pockets the gold. Any of my other goods interest you?
What else do you have here?
He has the Cloak of Billowing. He has the Keeper Response Signal, first edition. The Drunkard.
Oh shit! I have 1 gold, 5 silver, and 9 copper to my name. I will throw 11 gold on the counter. What can I get for 11 gold?
He looks around. He says, "Here, take this." And he hands over a bedroll that is damp to the touch.
It's an always damp bedroll?
Yes.
Okay.
It is perpetually damp.
Is it dripping or anything, or does it just feel soggy?
It even looks dry to the sight-wise looks dry. It's just damp when you touch it.
That's nightmare fuel.
This is Jones' revenge for the wet comforter.
This is pretty amazing, actually. Like, this makes me feel like I could be sleeping outside. I will genuinely appreciate this.
Thank you for your patronage.
Yeah, you have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
Okay, I'll go back outside and shoving something entirely different than a wand into my fucking backpack. Alright. We're good now. We can do the mission.
Sure. Off to get materials.
Oh yes, the materials.
Okay.
Totally forgot.
What'd you get, Artyom?
Off to the
It's a secret. It's a secret weapon for Erish. Don't worry about it. Super low-key.
You bought the weapon from that fucking guy?
Well, it's a weapon for Irish, is what I'm saying. We're going
I
to
don't get it.
we're going to develop something most heinous. I also have a soggy bedroll now. Which is kind of if you've ever had the pillow fight, it's probably like the equivalent of, I don't know, an arcane
A
cannon
what?
in a sword fight. You've never hit someone with a pillow before?
No.
I'd show you
No.
back at the hotel, but we'd literally be slapping people with mimics.
Oh, wait.
As you
First
swing
sword
the
fight
pillow, and the
ever.
pillow goes.
It opens on. You just hear Edgar go, "No violence," murdering the people who are participating in the pillow.
It's basically a scene out of It. Like you go to swing it, it just turns into a tentacle monster and bites the other person.
You guys take off, heading towards the Copper Arch. This district is beautiful, by the way. Architecturally astounding as you guys fly through a labeled district in copper plate letters and a quite literal copper arch from side to side as you enter this district. As KJ's sort of driving you around, there's all kind of artisans here, work with the hands. There's like all sorts of tools, materials. You got some like any sort of art that you can think of. So if someone does it with their hands and it's made, you can find it here. We're gonna take you to what you looking for.
Well, we're actually looking for what hasn't been made yet.
And I'll show her my shopping list of like raw materials.
Yeah, sure. It's mostly metal, so we're gonna go to some metal working places over here.
Hey, do you know of any places to sell probably diamonds, maybe cheaper if they're like stolen or something?
Jesus Christ.
Listen, I took you to the place that people that I knew to steal, and we saw how well that fucking worked out for us. So maybe we'll keep it on the up and up.
Okay, I don't know.
Raw gems around here. I'm sure there's a jeweler that we can find. Let's work with you. You can do with your hands. So we'll stop you by somewhere. All right, Milo first. And she takes you to a couple of will look to be like blacksmiths and forges and whatnot, dropping you off. And sake of brevity sort of situation. What are you looking for, Milo? And I want you to be specific with me here. It's just like raw materials isn't gonna cut it.
Yeah. So, sheets of metal, including iron, steel. I don't know what sheets of mithril or adamantium would cost. That sounds really expensive.
Right.
Maybe smaller bits of that if there's any available, like little plates of it.
Sure there is.
Wires, copper, both in sheet and wire form for making gears, cogs, and connections.
Okay.
And as for the metal portion of the materials I was looking for, that is about what I've got.
All of your mundane materials, your gears and cogs, that would be your normal everyday stuff and working on experiments and stuff like that. So tell me what you're spending, and then it'll be a resource. So tell me what you're spending.
I mean, I don't have that much. I don't know how much the party is willing to part with. Perhaps that was part of the conversation on the way over here.
Sure, this is just mundane items.
Yeah.
Definitely something that you could use to make smoke see-through goggles.
Yeah, if I'm wanting to stock my workshop to be able to work on things for the party, we have still 20-something thousand.
We have 27,000 gold pieces worth.
Yeah. So like anywhere from like 8 to 10,000 gold if I'm going to be making magic items for everyone. I'm trying to.
Sure, I'll say 10,000. We'll get 1,000 platinum pieces spent. Fuck it.
Sure, if it's gonna be.
That's a party decision. That's not on me.
Between and that's the metals and also wood, crystals, so on and so forth.
Okay.
This is
a party decision. So we say yay or nay.
10,000 gold buying from a store versus 10,000 gold of produced items is a lot better of a ratio.
Yeah. So.
So, I'm okay.
I say yay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we stock in the workshop.
Stop that work.
Do they actually have any ironwood here? I don't even know if that's an actual thing in 5th edition.
Okay. I'm assuming that is a passed motion.
It sounds
change the
like it.
number? Okay.
It sounds like it. And before you do that, though, I would like to ask, Milo, is this going to include your adamantine and mithril on that, or will that be just in addition to?
I don't know what the cost of raw adamant and mithril, like, would that make up a considerable portion of the 10,000?
Yes, it would.
All right.
Is there anything
in that case?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just asking, is there anything in particular that we actually needed those things for? Because I was just saying, like, hey, we should just have magic stuff if there's there.
Well, yeah, I was just keeping it in reserve in case there was something we wanted to make later.
Okay.
We're about to go in the wilderness. I don't know what we're gonna have access to. So.
Right. Did Storm have any
You,
particular objections?
you do
to this
not find
expenditure?
ironwood, by the way.
Okay.
Say again?
Does what?
I was just asking if either of y'all had any particular objections to this expenditure. Okay. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody's opinions had been gotten.
If I had opinions, I'd say them.
Wonderful.
Or
Good.
think them.
Are you just recasting it every time we get in the car? We get in the car.
Guys, no. This is only when we have to use it in combat.
All right. So, what's the decision on adamantine and mithril being included or no?
No, not included, because that's not going to be most items.
Okay. All right. You can find like 1x1 mithril sheets in raw form, along with the same in adamantine form. Mithril is 250 for a 1x1 sheet to work it into armor. Adamantine being 750.
For a 1x1.
Yes, to work it in.
I mean, that makes sense, but yikes. That would be party decision because your boy got 200 and some change gold.
So it's 250 for adamantine and
No,
750
for
mithril. Other way
mithril.
around.
Other way around.
Okay, so 250 for mithril, 750 for adamantine.
Correct.
I mean, I don't wear armor, so I don't have an opinion on this matter.
I just assumed that it would be like a more exotic material to make something more special or magical or something, like having, I don't know, cast spells better out of a mithril wand or something, or
We'll hold off until we see what the diamonds cost.
Okay.
And we'll see what we're working with left.
All right. Heading over to a jeweler, you guys find a plethora of diamonds available to you sort of in raw, unworked form. I say a plethora. I'm sorry. You find a plethora of jewels, not a plethora of diamonds, in a jeweler's workshop. Who would be willing to sell you 2 of them? Coming in at a cost of 210 gold and 460 gold.
Holy shit.
are they spell component wise? What would that be?
That would cover the 410 would cover a revivify. The 210 in combination with some of your other stuff would cover as well. I've said before that you can combine your resources. You just need to write down the value beside them.
All right. Cool.
And they're willing to sell you to them at cost. So 210 and 460.
It sounds pretty good to me.
All right.
So we'll have 170 residual floating diamond resource. I mean, if we have to cast those spells, hopefully not.
Okay, how much worth of diamonds?
210 and 460. So 670. 670.
Oh, 670. Okay.
Okay, so 670 is being spent on diamonds. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, we should probably get some I mean, we're gonna come back to the ship and have all of these materials and stuff. We should probably get some like I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what really like animal fat and like wax and stuff for candle making for Irish. What are candles made of? I mean, I know you put smell good plant stuff in them and like wax and there's like tallow. Like, is it just like, is it wound up hair? What is that stuff? Is it like a fiber?
If he was actively making candles, I think he's got candle making stuff.
But okay, sure.
Kasha, can I have you roll a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh no.
No.
This conversation's just that bad.
What time is it while she's rolling that, DM?
It's getting at about 4 p.m. at this point.
Okay, so I rolled a 2 plus 9 would be an 11.
Okay.
My brain starts leaking out of my ears. Got it.
Alright, well, okay. So we've got that stuff. It's getting into the afternoon. Might want to start, like, finding a good spot.
Nah.
Is it all the shit we just bought? Is that more than the bag of holding can contain currently?
It's pushing its limits at this point with the amount of gold and with the amount of materials that Milo just purchased. And
I mean, we just pretty heftily subtracted the amount of money we had sitting in, like, the individual coins that were sitting in that bag.
It is currently pushing its limits.
Okay.
Is anywhere happening to sell another bag of holding?
Yes, the place you guys just left.
Yeah. We don't.
Oh.
It's fun.
Oh, okay.
It just needs to be in there until we can get it in Milo's workshop anyway, right?
Yeah. But I mean, that also is a situation of what if we get the armor? I mean, we're gonna have to put the armor in something, right? So we might need a little bit of extra room in the bag of holding to shove that armor in there.
I mean, if you want to offload all this shit at the boat right now, then that I feel like that's really our only option, or at the chateau. But then we would have to go back to the chateau to pick it up.
It could be unnecessary. We don't have to do it. Probably better to get on with the mission.
Like you're a big fucking bird, right? Or like,
right, and if we're
like
taking,
pick up the armor and just
right, we're taking these guys sky carriage anyway, so we just throw it in the trunk and
easy.
Right. Should we take one of their bodies with us just in case Crowley can get that like shape shifting body thing working? Like, oh, Milo died in the.
Can't he talk to dead people?
I certainly can.
Or is he going to get the dead body to say, "Oh, I'm Milo Goggins, you slew me. Darn it.
We are
Stop looking for me now."
We're the creepiest shoppers ever. Walking around in a group and never talking to each other. That's what I'm saying. That's all creepy. Just a silent squad roaming through the stores.
Just having weird expressions on their face. Just
like we're having conversations, we all look crazy.
I also like to imagine you guys, shopkeeper just asks, is that going to be all? You respond yes, but you're so used to it being in your head, you just say yes in your head. Is that going to be all? Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, let's get to a good spot.
Let's figure out where we're gonna go.
All right.
KJ.
Yeah.
You said you knew a good spot for us to do this thing.
Yeah, good spot. Yeah, any spot that's low in the city is not going to be patrolled by gods, so I can find somewhere that's relatively untouched.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
And as we're kind of going, I would like to point out, like, so, for seeing as I suspect you might need to spend some time with this cloak to be able to adequately use it, I feel like a good idea will be for at least myself to be outside of the building, so that, like, if we're talking like this in our heads, I can let you know that they're about to come in, and then I could like hit them from behind. And the question
I-
is, do we want anybody else there besides me? Because if so, whoever is with me should use this cloak.
I was definitely gonna support you being a lookout. That was kind of part of the ambush thing, but
Right.
I don't know who else would do well out there with you.
Aren't you supposed to be the bait, Milo?
Well, yeah, it's not gonna be me. I gotta be inside working.
He's going to be in there working in his workshop, and they're going to show up. But at least I should be outside. But if we have somebody else who's going to be out there, they should use that cloak. But if not, if I'm going to be by myself, then I would say I should use the cloak just in case.
I can also
can
be
use-
within eye shot if you need me to be. That way I can come down and scoop people up if getaway is needed.
Yeah, if you could like park somewhere like close by and just kind of not suspicious looking. I don't know how this.
I got you.
Fantastic. So, will everybody else be inside the building, or no?
Sure, I can be inside the building, or I can. I mean, I'm pretty sneaky with. I can make the shadows, go all funny around us and be pretty sneaky.
I
Okay,
out there
it's
with you. Use the cloak. So I can see very far. I guess not very sneaky.
Sounds a bad idea.
if he's not moving around, he won't have to be
Yeah.
too sneaky.
The cloak
Cloak
is
helps
supposed to
out with
help
that.
you. Yeah, it
Yeah.
helps you be a little sneakier.
Well, I have an idea. All right, get this. We get the box outside, and me and Melgrim get in the box, and then he has his really good eyesight. He can see outside the box, and I have the staff inside the box, and none of the shadows get out. So it just looks like there's a crack, but you can't see that there's a door inside the box.
Well, if we're gonna be having people ambushing them in the room, wouldn't it be better to have you in here with Gorham?
You can make the most people sneaky in there.
Yeah,
We
because,
shouldn't.
yeah, that's very
We
true.
shouldn't have too many people outside.
yeah, visible inside will be myself and Crowley, my father, restrained.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they walk in, they see us, they attack, and then we get them.
Hey,
Right.
a quick question: is it somewhere I should be? You just said somewhere good where nobody's gonna be around. I got that, but is there any sort of like landmarks or like features that I should be looking for? Like I
Like,
can
if we had,
find,
like, a
I can find like a
building we could
building,
be
like
in.
an empty
Yeah,
warehouse
yeah.
or something. Okay.
Yeah, warehouse would be
pretty
ideal.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So
Preferably a warehouse that might not also be owned by criminals or something.
Nah, I'll take you somewhere that's just not just condemned or something.
It's
So perhaps we could even just have me calling as his father with the location, and
Right.
We can start
Right.
things off right.
When
But,
they walk in, if they don't see you, they might get suspicious.
I'll let them see me, but I can actually help a little bit. Do
By
you,
all means.
do you have any kind of random blueprint that you don't necessarily need, Milo?
I can make one pretty easy.
Or a piece of paper, anything will do if you have some parchment on you.
Take out some like grid paper, whatever. Like
I can make one easy. I was gonna set up a little fake workshop with my tools and some fake notes when we got there anyway.
That's very good. Can I see this parchment? I'm just going to borrow this. And
hand it.
he's going to look at it, and he's going to just start tracing a finger around it again and again. And I'm going to be glyph of warding this at a 5th level explosive ward.
oh shit. Oh yeah, here you go. Boom.
And I'm hoping it's like a claymore. This front toward enemy. I'm tracing this front toward enemy repeatedly.
oh my goodness.
That going awry in this vehicle would just be terrible.
Oh no.
Well, I set up how it triggers, so that's the best
Right.
part about it. So.
Right. The casting time on that is 1 hour, so you get
Yeah,
it started
so-
right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That's also attunement time, so great.
yeah. So who is Inigo Valley going to be out there besides me? We need to decide this now.
I will be inside making everyone
Right,
shadow.
You need to be in there making everybody who's inside stealthy. Melgrim, do you want to be outside or inside?
I'll be outside. give us
Okay,
advantage.
you put on that cloak.
Right. Yeah.
Wait,
Frickin' bats.
DM, technically, if you have pass without a trace, and it makes shadows like cling to your body, would technically, if Melgrim was carrying me around and I had pass without a trace on us, would he be able to fly wherever?
That is the cheesiest shit.
Does it make it dim?
You know
Does it
what?
make
You,
it
you
dim
have
light?
to jump. You have to jump off of something tall and try it out.
Sure.
Anything's possible.
DM says let's rock.
Okay. So, Melgrim is attuning to the cloak of the bat, and Crowley is warding something, a piece of paper, as we are en route to this warehouse.
Okay. Takes you in probably 25-30 minutes to get down where KJ's taking you. You see foot traffic as you guys leave the higher wards and the middle wards. You see the foot traffic eventually just sort of fade out as she takes you to an abandoned warehouse sort of district. Down here it looks like abandoned for some time. You don't see any moving or anything like that, but she takes you to a large sort of built between two towers warehouse, road connecting two towers for several hundred yards on either side. It looks like, so they could go from either warehouse to warehouse, or like bring stuff out of a warehouse and load it onto passing by vehicles, but brings you to a rather large and dilapidated warehouse in the lower wards of Sharn. This is all right. I mean, this goes two ways. Nobody's around, but also nobody's around.
Yeah.
Do what we gotta do, right?
All right. Yeah, I guess I can. Who's going outside? Y'all made this plan, and I was having a hard time keeping up. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, we should probably stay relatively close to each other until we need to get into position.
Okay. Well, whoever is going outside, I can drive you up somewhere high if you want to be somewhere high, or whatever the case is.
We don't want to be too far away
Right.
from the building proper.
I was just saying, I can cast the spell on us so that we can keep on communication, and then we get into position and call them over.
Yeah, I would say cast it one more time, because we don't know how long it's going to take them to get here. We want to be ready, just like if they're going to be here in like 2 minutes.
Correct. Agree. They said we cast it and then we call them.
Sounds good.
Orem is going to take this time to summon his boar.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
You guys.
In the mean, oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say these warehouse doors are large enough for KJ to pull her sky carriage in, which she does for right now. Says I'm just gonna keep it out of line of sight for right now. I'll take it out whenever we need to. Kind of slides back these rusty sliding doors, slowly pulls into this warehouse, like very, very stripped and broken down. There is like the only thing being like the walls and staircases leading up to what you would assume would be some sort of equipment that was there previously, but this thing is like stripped down completely. There is nothing here.
Is there any like walkways or balconies or anything like?
There are, like, lining the sides of the warehouse. There are several not balconies, like walkways that are suspended in the air, and those are about 20-25 feet off the ground. About 20-25 feet above that, you guys see some like rafters and stuff for the roof of the warehouse. Some of these walkways just sort of end as well, like they butted up against some equipment at one point.
Gotcha. All right.
All right. So, I guess I'm looking for a good position that's like a couple good positions for myself and Melgrim to hole up that are relatively close to the warehouse, but are far enough away to have has good lines of sight and stuff to see approaching vehicles and people and stuff, but not like so far away that we're gonna be like spending forever trying to get over there once shit starts to hit the fan.
Make a perception check for me.
21.
21. For the 21, the street itself is about 35 feet wide or so. You would guesstimate. Looking across the street to have a good view on the warehouse itself, you would have to go up some. Like if you wanted like a bird's eye view on like the sort of side alleyways on this thing, you would have to go up a little bit. And you see somewhat of a nook inside of one tower that should be able to hold you and Melgrim. There's not a lot of, it's just sort of like missing stone out of one of the towers.
Is there somewhere that's, how high up is that, first of all?
It's probably about 40 feet off the ground.
Okay, is there somewhere that's on ground level as well?
You could find off to the towers. Your vision would be a little bit restricted versus what you're looking for, as you couldn't really see up and around any of the buildings or beside the building at all. You would be getting that sight. But yeah, there's on the either sides of these towers, you could find yourself in a small alleyway or crook.
Okay.
That was going to be one of the things that I was wanting to address. Who in the party doesn't have dark vision?
Just
Okay,
me.
Just me and you.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually, right now I don't because I switched it out for the bolter.
All right. I will use 3-second level spells near the end of our preparations to give all three of us dark vision so that we can keep this whole area inside the warehouse relatively low light and still see them better.
Okay. It is during this time of the day, it is low light in the warehouse itself. Depending on how late this goes or how late you guys wait, it will get dark. There's no source of light around.
All right.
What Milo's doing as soon as they get there is wasting no time, like find a table or desk or shelf or something, and basically setting up a facsimile like work site, like getting some notes scribbled out, maybe some more blueprints, stacking some whatever metal bars or whatever, taking some of his tools out like a hammer, a couple screwdrivers, set them on the desk, and using dancing lights to kind of give him a workspace lighting area.
Okay. The space is hardly functional. It is, like I said, everything has pretty much been stripped out of here. So you're kind of working off of like either the end of one of these walkways or just on a stair. Or on the floor itself. It's
yeah, he can do it on the
here.
stairs, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it
All
just I want it to look like the workspace of a man in hiding and trying to work with what he can.
Sure. Yeah. Give me a this is a weird check. Give me a deception check. How about that?
Knowledge Arcana?
Nah.
I gotta set up it's an engineering station.
No, because you're not setting it up the right way.
Could he set it up using deception, using his intelligence instead of charisma?
I'm gonna say this is deception. He's trying to portray something he doesn't normally portray.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be a 12.
Okay. All right.
Could be worse.
Remind you of your portents in case you want to use them, but in case you want to save those, no worries. Okay. Well, let's get no workstation set up. What else is happening?
I'm gonna recommend Milgram. You should and I'm gonna point out the nook in the alley down on the ground floor. I know you have really good eyes. However, I don't think you fly very well. Like pointing up at the 40-foot up spot. And this will keep you a little closer because I know you don't run quite so fast. So, not quite the best, but it'll still have you in a good spot. And I'm gonna go up there because I can fall from pretty high.
Well,
Hey.
Can't he fly with the cloak?
Is it dim light down here?
It will be in a couple of hours.
Don't know how long I don't think it's gonna take us a couple hours.
Okay.
But
Yep, sounds good to me.
down here, right? And it's not quite so far to run up there, or down here. So you'll be down there, and that'll give us so we're not all on one spot. And I'll once he's there, I'll clamber my way up to that little bird's eye view.
Okay.
Where is Milgram hiding? I'm sorry, I missed exactly where he was going to be set up at.
He's hiding street level, across the street. About
Okay.
the street's about 35 foot wide. He's kind of adjacent to it. So he's probably 40 feet or so from the door of the warehouse.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, if that, I mean, I'll probably. Where does everyone inside want to set up for the Pass Without a Trace squad?
If I'm not mistaken, you all have to be within 30 feet of each other.
I think it might even be shorter than that. Oh, let me
I think
check.
it's 30 feet. Pretty sure. Let me see. I have it is on the spell list. Let's see here. The Sycamore.
Oh yeah, 30 feet. Okay.
30 feet.
Traded one dwarf and got another back. They tagged down.
How wide would you say that the upper walkways are in this warehouse?
About 25 feet.
25 feet from like one side to the other?
Oh wait, how high up?
No,
Or,
no,
I'm
not
sorry.
how high up. Like how high, like across from each other in the warehouse.
It varies. There are some that are connecting that are only separated by about a 10-foot gap or so. That looks like again that there was a piece of equipment in between them that's since been removed. But from side one end of the warehouse to the other warehouse in total is probably 80 feet or so across.
Okay. How wide would you say it was?
That's what I'm talking about. From side to side is probably about 80 foot wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I could get sort of in the middle of one of those like scaffolding or walkways or something like that, and have someone 30 feet to this side of me and 30 feet to the other side of me, and potentially someone below me on the ground still within 30 feet, since it's only 25 feet up.
Below you on the ground, definitely. It would depend on where these people were to either side of you, but
Right.
yeah, potentially. Mm-hmm.
All right, we could try to do something like that for whoever was going to be in the range of it. I guess that's just Kaushik and Gorham and Crowley.
The boar.
And the boar, right. Well, I assume the boar would be with Gorham. But, I mean, we can do something different as well. We want to have it, like, charging in from a different angle or something.
I am beginning mounted on the boar.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I don't know if it'll give any kind of like bonus to the deception check, but I'd like to take 100 gold worth of the materials and actually have it to where I can configure something. Like I'll be working on some gizmo or something when they walk in, theoretically.
Okay.
If they come in.
All right.
It's a bomb.
It's going to be like an alarm clock or something.
That also happens to be a bomb.
Crowley says as he glyph of warnings.
I mean, what is a bomb other than a really loud alarm clock? Like, let's be real.
True.
That is one way to look at it.
I will from my perch like, all right, are we ready to go? We're gonna give him a ring.
Position Crowley somewhere like not far from the workbench. Like I had to keep my eye on it.
Okay.
Okay.
So is Crowley's going to be in there as
Dad.
your dad? Okay.
He's my kidnapped father.
Okay, so I am going to be cloaking or trying to help with the stealth checks for Gorham and Kaushik then.
Okay. Very well. And
How
You
do
and
you-
Kaushik, the inside crew.
and bursty.
How do you
And bursting.
right? How do you two want to be? Well, I mean, I'm assuming since Gorham's going to be on the mount, he's probably not want to be up in the scaffolding or anything. He's definitely want to be on the ground floor. So maybe we should just keep it on the ground floor, or I can be on the ground floor with him, and Kaushik can be above me, if she wants to have like a down view on stuff. How do you guys want to do that?
Kaushik up high sounds pretty good. That way no one can like immediately slap her.
Okay.
It's up to you though.
Yeah,
Kaushik
that's
up.
what do you think?
Kaushik up high then.
Okay.
Koshik says, "I want to murder."
It's like I can't stab nobody.
Vampiric.
I don't have to stab
Second, like,
anybody. Koshik up
energy.
high.
There are pros and cons. I mean, if you're up high, you also can't cast Cure Wounds on people. You'll be relegated to using Healing Word or some other form of ranged healing if you need to heal somebody in a pinch. And I don't know, I'm too far away or something.
Worst case scenario, I could drop down.
Sure.
I will say this.
Point of Featherfall or whatever it is.
I'm sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
right.
I will say this to the players, not to your characters, since you guys are making this plan sort of theater of the mind. I am not going to rob you of actual planning. So if any of this changes, I will try to have this built as soon as possible in Tailspire and take pictures of it and send it to you. That way you can plan if anything of your plan changes.
All right.
But right now it sounds like we're setting up the combat wise that'll come afterwards, but it sounds like we're setting up the call. Right. Okay. So Milo is currently working on, it looks like a man in hiding, working on things on the stairs and near the stairs. And Crowley, what are you doing?
I'm sitting within line of sight of Milo. I'm just like sitting there, like head down, like, you know, looking like his dad.
Okay. And how are you doing that?
Disguise self.
Okay.
Which is at will now. Also, I've got the sheet of paper in my pocket, and I want to trigger it on a keyword.
What's the keyword?
A name.
Get fucked. Okay. No, a name.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There you go. DM said it.
No. It's gonna be a name. It's gonna be what Crowley wants it.
Okay. Actually, you know what? It's gonna be a quote.
Okay.
You've made a mistake.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
Melgross goes and goes, "You made a mistake."
All right. There is a. All right.
Specifically when I say it.
Okay. All right. I was about to say. Because there could be some consequences to these actions if it's anybody. So when Crowley says you've made a mistake, the glyph will go off.
If I had more hours, I'd just be like glyph on top of glyph, glyph on top of glyph, glyph on top.
Oh my god.
If it's possible, while I'm getting set up in the scaffolding, I would like to. I don't know if I have my own bag with me or whatever, but I would like to take rope. And if I could secure it somewhere up in the scaffolding so that worst case scenario, I can descend like down a wall, like scale a wall down or something.
Yeah.
You want to Indiana Jones down? Just like, yeet.
I just want to make I just want to make sure the bases are covered and I can get down if I need to. So
Yeah, no. This is good. Do you want it? How do you want it? Do you want it like a drop rope, like attached to one of the sides of the railing so you can just go down it if you need to? Or do you want it like an Indiana Jones, like tied to the scaffolding above you so you could swing out? That option will be able to drop you somewhere on the map further. The other one will drop you straight down.
I think I would rather. I don't know, actually.
Up to you. I love temptation, so.
I've got a lot of rope. I can do both.
I've got a lot of rope.
You can have choices.
Rope will swing.
I also
it's the
have
silkiest rope.
The idea was just to have it tied in like a like scaffolding up where I'm standing, like on the side, like nearest a wall of the warehouse, so that I could like actually, like, you know how mountain climbers like scale down like feet,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd still be in relative shadow, I think.
Okay.
In case I need to get down without them seeing me or without anybody seeing me, something like that as well.
Okay.
Instead of like Tarzan fucking swinging into a group of bad boys. So.
All right. So you'll be about 40 or 50 feet from the center of the warehouse, or where your rope will be. That's kind of where the shadows cling to the edges and the walls of the warehouse. But yeah, you can make a one that kind of drifts off of where one of these walkways end and a rope down to the bottom of it, so you can kind of use the wall for assistance. It will still be, just so you're fully aware, of descending or ascending a rope is going to be your athletics. Something to keep in mind. All right. All right. What's next?
Sorry. I was gonna say, luckily it's a worst case scenario type thing in case I have to come down. So
Right.
fingers crossed I don't.
Do we want to make the call before we end, or?
Yes, we do.
Yes, so
Okay.
bad. Yes.
So basically, the call's gonna go like, he kidnapped me. He's got me in here. Come quick. Is that what we're doing here?
Well, first, Archim will spy on him with his mysterious druid magic.
I thought you were supposed to do that during it. Yeah.
I'm going to do it probably right afterwards.
Well, right
So,
before,
like,
because you want it
going.
to still be ongoing when the call starts. You don't want to miss anything.
That's not how it works.
Is it not like a duration thing?
It's got a 10-minute duration on it, so
It doesn't move though. Does it move with the subject, or does it just
it's
go
on
when
the creature.
subject starts? Oh.
Yeah. You hear the creature for the duration. So if it's like spell, phone call.
Right. Like if this guy's taking a poop, I'd like to get past the first 2 minutes of him putting like his clothes on or like going to
Gotcha,
get
gotcha.
sword.
Put his clothes on.
It's one of those types of poops, man.
That's one of those. Oh
You gotta
god.
take the socks off and everything, dude.
Yeah, take the socks off.
If you take the
over there
socks
like,
off, it's
"Whoa."
serious.
Oh, crap.
Anyways. Okay.
That's one athletic poop.
So I understand. So the DM understands what's happening. Crowley is going to be sending a message over the sending stone, wherever that may go. When he does that, Artyom is going to be scrying on what and or whom.
I will be scrying on Scarface guy.
Okay.
I'm just assuming that that's where the stone goes to.
Okay.
I legitimately don't know.
It's our best guess, yeah.
All right. So Crowley sending the message, Milo working on his thing with his father nearby. Very well. Is there anything anybody else would like to do before the call is made?
When Crowley makes the call, I would like him to also, whenever he finishes it, use your minor image again to give me a solid picture of what this guy looks like, because it'll help me with the scrying spell. And then also grab the stone, because I think I get a bonus if I have a visual on them, and another bonus if I have an object that's. I mean, if it's a different guy, then none of that matters anyway. But in the case that it is, it would give him a combined total of -6 on his save.
That said, what is the name of this location? I'm sure Milo's dad would know.
Yeah, do we have,
yeah, we
do we have
probably
like
need to-
a street address?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I'd be
say
like-
KJ along the way gave you guys a street address. It'll be 416 Blackwater Way.
416. Okay, Blackwater.
KJ's still is in the chat still, right? He's
Yes.
just
Right,
up
yeah,
parked somewhere, right?
We'll
Okay.
probably cast the spell for telepathic bond. She'll hop in our vehicle and go to some safe spot after that. And then we'll make the call, do the silent image, do the clairvoyance, and then after that's expired, get into position, pass without a trace.
All right.
Okay.
I was expecting something like, 416, it's totally a trap. But, that must be the other side of town, no problem.
All right.
Okay.
It's on you guys.
All right. Do.
I am going to begin creating at this point, once they start everything, go ahead and start working on a random gadget, like a fancy alarm clock or something with cogs that has moving parts.
Okay.
I'm gonna start setting up my Home Alone traps.
How
Paint
big
can
of-
on a.
How big of a radius does Glyph of Warding explode in?
10 feet.
Oh, 20.
20 feet?
20
I thought it was
foot
10 feet. My bad.
That was 20. Oh, and it's all acid, but nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit.
Well, I was thinking
Big
potential. Well, I might have actually unprepared that. Never mind.
The glyph can cover an area no larger than 10 feet. Oh, this is a big ass spell, bro.
It is fucking
man.
huge.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, no. The explosive runes is in a 20-foot radius,
yeah, it's
centered on the
it's
glyph.
fireball. It's fireball size.
Yep.
It's
Um,
standard
it's-
AoE evocation spell.
Are you
It's
placing that
stackable.
somewhere? The sheet of paper?
Oh, yeah, it's on top of the sheet.
Yeah. No, are you placing the sheet of paper somewhere?
Oh no, I'm gonna hand it to the guy.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure.
Okay, so
Legend.
the plan is you guys are gonna go and talk to them then.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
What if they just bust in there and just start gunning Milo down, though?
well then that's when I take my action to fold a paper airplane and
Hey.
and I've got
if
an
it
artifact.
works.
So he can tell me how to fold the paper airplane
Are
from
you-
a
Oh.
distance.
That's
Are
where
you holding
Kachika
on
Pie
to
comes
the-
in.
Wait. There's some crosstalk going on. What's going on?
Milo.
Are you holding on to the glyph, or are you putting it with the other blueprints and notes that I've got?
I'm holding it on to me just so it's be like I nicked this from him, etc. This is important. Haven't made up excuse yet. It's better to just make it up on the fly.
Hell yeah.
Spoken like a true
All
bard.
right.
Anyway, sending now, and it's me. He's here. He kidnapped me. I'm at 416 Blackwater Way. Come quick. They're talking about leaving in the next hour or so.
Okay. You're not met with an immediate response. Artyom, are you
Click.
scrying?
I'm waiting. As soon as he pops the image up, I'll start scrying.
Image and, sending stone because he wanted that.
Yeah, I'll grab it, look at the image, do my scry.
What's your spell save DC?
My spell save DC is 17 now.
Okay.
Purchase.
1 second as I look up scrying one more time. I'm going back and forth in between spells rather than keeping one open or keeping them all open. Like I'm a genius right now. I need to see. Okay. And what'd you say your spell DC was?
17.
Okay. This one is a 15 total. There's a long silence, Crowley. And after a moment, a feminine voice comes over the sending stone. Everett Goggins. Is that you? Tell me where you are. Right now. 416 Blackwater Way, you say? And you're there. Right now.
Visibly, shaking the voice. I'm here, and my son's here too. It's just us. The others went out to the ship.
Funny. Artyom, as your vision is pulled into this green crystal and just redirected off into a direction imperceivable to you. You come as a hovering point above this figure that Crowley's presented to you, sort of looking over his shoulder. I'd like you to make a perception check for me.
Sure. 26. Oh, I'm sorry. Bad at math. 25.
Still.
Oh, wait, no. Our proficiency went up. 26.
Okay. All right. That made all the difference. It's very good. Also, Crowley, if I can get I'll give you a performance or a deception check, your choice. I'll wait for that.
Got a cat in the way. 18.
Okay. Artyom, as you're sort of hovering over this, your sense is pulled out of your physical form and hovering over this person. They're not alone. With a 26 perception, you can see he has no stone in his hand. What he does have is a particularly cruel-looking kukri machete that he sort of sheathes underneath coat. You also see a another standing figure to his left. You hear feminine voice talking to Everett Goggins. To his right, you see a figure bound to a chair. Their surroundings pretty dark and dusty, sort of like a single beam of light passing them just by. You can't see this person. It looks like they have some sort of covering over their head or anything, and they're not making any sort of noise or anything. But you are now tuned in basically as a third person to this conversation that is happening no more than a couple of feet to your left. Interesting, Everett. It's been some time since we've spoken, yes?
Listen, the kid's watching me. I can't say anything more.
This is all mental. This is a mental message to you.
Yeah.
Now, Everett, if I'm to help you, darling, you're gonna have to give me more. Now, your son has kidnapped you away somewhere. Everett, tell me, what was our arrangement again?
Listen, I just want you to leave me and my wife alone. The kid fucked up, I know. We're tired. I'm tired, please.
As much as I do love playing with my food, I don't know who you are or what you are doing. We have a friend of yours, though. Here. Artyom, you see the figure go over. This person's back is turned away from the figure that you are currently scrying on, and hands the stone over to this figure that's just like sort of shaky handed, standing right there. Artyom with a 26, as this person moves out of the way for this third person that is like bound to a chair. It's not a regular chair. This chair has wheels on it. As you hear a familiar voice, and Crowley, you hear a voice into your head as well. Hello? Listen, I don't know what they want, but Gandalin? Artyom? It's... Listen, the blonde... the blonde was not after me. I'm scared. She takes the sending stone back. Our circumstances dictate a different meeting, I think. I will not be making my way towards you. Bring Mr. Goggins to us. We'll have a conversation. You have 1 hour. If not, your friend here will be headless. She gives you an address to a place. Crowley probably wouldn't know off the top of his head, but he's sure that if you give it to KJ, she would know right away. We can make this stop. Tell Milo it can all be over. That's your decision. He cuts out. Artyom, your vision just sort of still over this guy's shoulder at the moment. She turns to him, putting the sending stone off to the side, and you see as she just sort of like tosses it onto the ground and she goes to stomp, you see metal cover the back of her calf and stomps down on it and just destroys the sending stone. They'll be on the way. Prepare. Sort of shakes his head, and as he starts walking off, that's about the point where your spell starts to fade.
For 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I see any other maybe landmarks or anything like that in the area that might at least be able to help later determine, like, if we haven't addressed what part of the building they might be in, if there's like any light shafts coming through a window or underneath a door or anything like that to get like some direction or something? Right.
With the 26, I'm not going to make you re-roll. It is very similar to where you guys are. It looks like it is a maybe an abandoned warehouse, you're not sure. But as he makes his way up, because this is all you can see, you got like this top down view of him currently. As he makes his way around, you see like glints of light coming through windows, but they're like colored lights. It's not like they're coming through a normal window, maybe stained glass or something. So with that information, maybe like an abandoned temple or something like that.
All right. I will try to, as best as I can with what limited vision I have, make note of maybe what colors might be coming from where, if there are multiple sides to this building or something like that, to get a better idea.
Explain that last part to me so I can give you what you're looking for. I'm sorry.
Well, you said that there's like colored light coming through.
Mm-hmm.
So like if there were, windows on a side and one of them was like red and green and I saw red and green light, I'd be like, okay, well, that's a point of reference.
Right. They seem to all be focused on the same side, and the same side that the sun is setting. So all of the windows seem to be located, although the colored or the light drifting through these colored windows seem to be on the western side of the building.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I mean, as soon as it ends, I'll definitely let people know if Charlie hasn't already let them know, which I'd assume I would hear that.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna explain immediately that they didn't buy into it and they've got a hostage. Gandalf's friend.
What?
Yeah.
The one in the wheelchair.
They've got married.
I jump off from where I'm at, just straight through, just hit the ground immediately into the warehouse.
KJ, you got to come here immediately. We've got to go quickly, very, very quickly right now.
She didn't leave the warehouse yet. She's still in the warehouse with her sky carriage. She was waiting on the go to leave.
I'm rushing over there to shoulder those big doors back open.
I'm gonna send Mage Hand into the rafters to untie my rope and then roll it back up, put it back in my stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Slamming everything back into his work bag and let's go.
Melgrim, give me that cloak.
Frantically.
Okay. There you go.
Immediately start attuning to the cloak.
Crowley, you give.
Not.
Go ahead.
Say Milo is not a picture of composure right now.
Yeah, I will. They said that you have to be there within an hour, judging from the place that they're in. They might have been in some old type kind of temple. KJ, what do you know about this address? The lights seem to be coming in from this side.
I know where this is. This is an old temple district. It's not far from here. Maybe a 15-20 minute drive.
All right. Do you know anything about any of those buildings?
Do we need to be in a hurry? Can I explain it on the way?
You can explain it on the way if you like. You get 15 or 20 minutes.
Shit. Well, never mind. Keep your cloak. Keep your cloak. For that cloak. Damn.
Right.
Never mind. Son of a bitch. No, we got to do this soon.
Well, I mean, I can get you that. I just need to know what you guys want me to do in this situation. I can get you that early, and you can scope it out.
There are windows on the side of this building. Do you know? Would you recognize it if you saw it? I'll try to give her a vague approximation of how big the windows were, or something like that. If I can give that. She's seen the building before, or is familiar with it at all.
Yeah. What colors were the lights? Or what did you see anything on the windows themselves?
I will tell her what I saw. I don't know if I.
That's not much to go off of. There's a few temples down there, but if they're multicolored, like you're saying, it's probably. I mean, Blood of All would just be a red. It's probably an old host. I mean, it's the most common anyway, so it's probably an old host temple down there. I don't know exactly which one, but it's a whole.
Let me know. Oh, go ahead.
Is this whole like the entire thing is just like a couple of temples, some of them smaller, some of them bigger, but
right. If you can get me, let me know when we're getting within eyesight, and I can try and point out to which ones that it might have been that I was looking at. How big were these windows, by the way?
They're pretty big. They're in order for you to see sort of this light filtering in via the scrying spell, they were fairly large to allow this amount of light coming in.
Okay. And how many windows were there? Like church-sized windows?
Yeah, you didn't really see how many there were, but in order to collect that amount of light, because your focus is that creature, to be shifting this amount of light, it was displacing a lot of the darkness in here. So you could assume they're fairly large.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try my best to find those, and then my suggestion to the party is that we have KJ run up to those things as quickly as possible, maybe not even stop, and all of us jump through those windows at the same fucking time and kill anything that's not a guy sitting in a chair.
However, as you all load up in KJ's vehicle to get a better scope of the place or to go directly there, that is where we will end our session for tonight.
Oh shit!
Oh. Let us get there.
No, I will not let you get there.
Late.
That was a hefty insight check. I'll say it like that. Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We got quite a few follows and a raid and all this other great stuff. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you back next week as well. Thank you guys as always for playing with me. I had a blast this session, and we will do this same thing next week. We are Hard Knock Dice. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Mondays, we do our Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign, DM'd by our very own Gandalin, who is over this direction. Hi. And then on Wednesdays, we do just stuff, various and sundry stuff. And sometimes we talk about D&D stuff. It's just kind of our hangout session. And then on Saturdays, we do this. Don't forget that we are raising money for Extra Life. Our thermometer's right down there. And we're going to be giving away some things, including a digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, gaming mouse, and a gaming keyboard. Brain stopped working temporarily. No worries. I'm here. However, we will end our session there. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And we're going to find someone to raid here in just a moment and kind of share this love. I should have had this pulled up, but I didn't. So I'm going to keep talking. Next week, you can tune in and find us on Saturday. And most likely, we'll have some form of Tailspire up. For those who don't know what Tailspire is, that is a digital map making tool that we've been using. That's really cool. It's like a 3D virtual tabletop. If you haven't seen that and you want to see that, come and hang out with us next week. Drop a follow so you get notified when we go live. You can also follow us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. What else are we on? I think that's about it. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, right? Anybody else? Here we go. Raid channel. Let's find someone to raid. Let's give some love to the welcome in. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I think Hope is doing
let's give her thing. I hope raid is earlier. We'll give her the counter raid. This is our counter attack, guys. We're gonna go ahead and give give Hope some love. So ready up, let's go.